The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Slats and Rora aboard the Alpha and the Mardi fleet, having been drawn to the surface of the graveyard planet, are engaged in a last-ditch battle with the insect men. The ships are being slowly drained of power by the magnetic field. Their last resort will be to destroy the planet and Planet Man with it. Unknown to them, Dantro is about to attack the insect men with the freed slaves and fugitives as his allies. Barrow, the robot, far below, waits to destroy the power plant and the planet. Only minutes remain in the race against time and destruction.
Here's the plan, Greg. We get as close to the insect men as we can without being seen. You and your men will come with me. Sacro will take his crew around and on the signal of blue flare, attack simultaneously from the other side of the circle.
I understand, Dantro. How much time do we have?
Barrel will destroy the planet in exactly 8 minutes. We have to be aboard those ships by then.
Do they know we're coming? Will they let us through and aboard?
We'll have to take the chance, at least until we attack. So far, the insect men haven't detected any of our contact or communications. But I'm not going to risk the longer beam necessary to contact the ships.
The Mardi are liable to shoot us down. They'll think we're part of the insect men's army.
That's one of the risks. No time to talk further. Does Sacro know the plan and signal?
He's tuned into the conversation.
Very well, then. Let's get going. And remember, the signal is a blue flare. No turning back. If anyone falls, and that includes me, leave him and keep heading for the ships. Understand?
Yes.
Then let's go.
How are we doing, Rora?
We could only hold our power. They couldn't touch us. Our shields are standing against everything they've got.
Maybe we'll be able to polish them off before our power runs too low.
I was hoping for that, but there's little chance. For every insect man we destroy, 10 take his place. And they've got more equipment than we could possibly smash in the time that's left.
Rora, how can you talk of smashing a planet with Dantro out there?
We don't even know that he's out there, Slats. He may be dead, but we can't put his life against all those of our crews. And we can't let these ships fall into the hands of the insect men. With this fleet, they could spread their evil out beyond their planet.
I'm going to try to contact Dantro on the communicator.
It doesn't reach out far at all in this field, Slats.
I know, but I got a hunch he's around here somewhere. I'm going to try anyhow. Hello, Slats aboard the Alpha calling Dantro. Are you around, Dantro? Can you hear me? Answer me. We're going to have to destroy the planet, Dantro. Come in, Dantro.
I'm afraid you're wasting your time, Slats.
Shh, maybe he'll answer.
Face it, Slats, he isn't going to answer. We can't wait much longer anyway.
Listen, I'm going out there and look for him.
Slats, don't be a fool. You couldn't live out there for a minute. We're under a steady barrage of rays powerful enough to blast a space dreadnought. The only thing that's saving us is our protective shields.
If only I wasn't worried about Dantro. I'd tell you to use a planet buster now.
Oh, we will, Slats, in about 2 minutes. That's all the time we can wait. Our power level is dangerously low now.
If only I was on one of those ships out there on the outer circle, at least I could fight. As it is, I just stand here and watch.
We're almost close enough now, Greg. Once we get into combat, it'll be every man for himself. Try to fight your way to the closest ship. Are your men deployed?
Yes, Dantro, on either side of us.
Everyone, get on your space helmets. Here goes the flare.
One minute left, and then you can use those planet busters. That's wrong, Roar. I'm sure Dantro's out there somewhere alive.
Look, I've endangered the fleet too much as it is, Slats. We can't wait.
But Roar. Hey, Roar, look.
What? What do you see?
Out there, you see it? Over in that area.
Oh, flare. What does it mean it's just a flare?
Don't you understand, Roar? That's Dancho. It means he's alive. He's out there.
Why do you say that?
Because of the flare. He had a supply of those flares. That was the signal we agreed on. Now you got to wait.
Oh, don't be a fool, Slats. Every spaceship has flares like that. The insect men must have them, too. You can't be sure it's Dancho.
I am sure, I tell you. It's Dancho. I know it is.
Where are you going?
I'm going out there, Roar, and don't try to stop me. Dancho's out there, and he may need help.
Slats, take off that spacesuit. Come back. You can't live out there. Slats, I warn you, I'm setting off the planet busters as I planned.
Slats is determined to help Dancho at all costs, even his own life. What will the next minute bring? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Slats, he was about to leave the Alpha and tried to rescue Dancho, despite the tremendous odds against him. Rura has threatened to set off the Planet Busters in exactly 60 seconds. In the meantime, Dancho, Grigg, and the slaves are trying to fight their way through the insect army and get aboard the Mardi fleet.
All right, Grigg, let's go. Stay on the left side of me. We'll see if we can't teach those insect men a few tricks about infiltration.
They've spotted us. Look out. They're turning a secret turret this way.
Not so easy as all that. Watch. Watch your left there, Grigg. Down.
That was close, Slats. What was it?
Atomic grenade. If we have these suits on, they'll block out radiation.
Where we headed?
That's my ship, the Alpha, in the center. Now let's try to make it.
I hope they don't think we're insect men.
Oh, we certainly don't look like it.
Yeah, but most of those turrets on the ships are automatic. They fire at any target.
Grigg, quick, behind you! Are you all right, Grigg?
Did you get him?
Won't bother anyone again.
Watch it.
Thanks, Grigg. I didn't see him.
That's all right. Thanks, Scifi. How much time left?
About 2 minutes.
I don't think we're going to make it.
We've got to make it. Come on.
Over there. There's another one coming. I'll get him.
Hold it, Grigg. Don't fire. That's no insect man. It's one on our side.
Who is he?
I wonder. Well, it couldn't be, but... Slats! Slats, is that you?
Dancho, I knew it was you when I saw that flare.
Where'd you come from?
The Alpha. Oh, my gosh, in 30 seconds it's going to be too late. Come on, we got to run.
You know about Barrel's deadline, then?
I don't know anything about Barrel, but in 30 seconds, Roar ships are going to set off Planet Busters. I'm telling you, man, you better come on. We're never going to make it.
I'll try to contact her on the communicator. Rura! Hello, Rura. This is Dancho, the Planet Man. Rura! Rura, can you read me?
Dancho, is it really you? Where are you?
About 300 yards from the Alpha. Can you wait for us? We'll be there in a minute or two if we have any luck.
I don't know. The protective shields are going fast. Can't wait until they do, or the insect men will destroy or capture the fleet. Hurry, I'll wait as long as I can, but hurry.
We got to get around those 2 tanks. You see them there? They're right between us and the Alpha.
Our hand weapons won't even dent their armor. If they see us, we're sunk. There's only one thing to do. So long. Grigg! Grigg, come back!
Hey, what's he doing? What's he doing, huh?
He has some anti-tank atomics, but if he gets close enough to use them, he'll go up with the tanks. Grigg, come back!
Look, he's going to make it. There he goes.
He did it. But he killed himself, too. Come on, we mustn't let his sacrifice go in vain.
Hurry, Dancho, hurry.
Hey, there's the Alpha. We're almost there. Lucky I left the outer hatch open. We'd never have time to wait.
You're going first, Liz.
Okay. No time to argue. Come on.
Right behind you.
Slats, wake up, Slats.
Look out, Dancho. He's out there. You got to save him, Rura. Wait, Rura.
Slats, everything's all right. Dancho is here, Slats.
Where am I? Dancho, you're safe.
Yes, Slats, I'm safe, thanks to you and Aurora here. If she hadn't waited for us, we'd be back there.
Is the battle over? Do we win?
The battle's over, but nobody wins a battle like that.
What are you talking about?
I'll explain, Dancho. You see, Slats, the graveyard planet is nothing but a mass of whirling gas now, and the insect men with it.
You use the Planet Busters, then?
No, we didn't get the chance. I didn't know what had happened until Dancho explained it to me.
Well, if you didn't use the Planet Busters, then what happened? What's she talking about, Dancho?
There was no time to explain before when we were trying to get to the Alpha. But Barrel was down in the city of the insect men, and he detonated their entire power plant. Must have set off a chain reaction that destroyed the plant.
We just made it. Say, how about the others, the guys who were with you? They make it?
Most of them slats, but I'm afraid many weren't so lucky, and they died with the insect men on their planet.
That is rough. Who were they, prisoners?
Slaves, slats, survivors of the other ships the insect men had trapped.
I guess the galaxy won't miss the insect men. They deserved what they got. Hey, wait a minute. You mean Barrel went up in that, too?
That's right, slats. Barrow took his own life to save the galaxy. Well, I guess you'd call it consciousness rather than life, since he was a robot.
Yeah, that's rough. For a robot, he was all man. I know a few humans who could take lessons from him. Say, where are we headed?
We're going partway back with Rura, then she'll transfer to one of the Mardi ships, and we'll set a course for Planaria Rex.
It's a great idea. And no side trips this time, huh? I've had enough excitement.
None at all, Slats?
Well, now that you mention it, we might just stop off once or twice just for a fast look around.
Slat certainly seems to have become an untiring adventurer. Will our friends head back for Planaria Rex, or will they take a fast look around? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Planet Man and Slats have escaped from the graveyard planet which Barrel the robot had destroyed by detonating its power plant. In the process, Barrel himself was destroyed. Our two friends are now aboard the Alpha with Rura, heading back toward the planet of the Mardi.
Well, Rura, I guess you'll be leaving soon.
I still wish you would come back home with me for a few days and let me have the Alpha overhauled in our space yard.
That's nice of you, Rura, but we should be back on Planaria Rex now.
Anyway, remember, you promised to come back and spend some time with us.
We will. I'm anxious to see how you make out with your project to turn Marston into a respectable citizen. I don't think he'll ever be anything but a heel.
There's the space launch. I'm going to have to leave you now. Well, good luck on your trip back, and don't get into any trouble this time.
We won't, Rura. We're going to stop a few times on the way home, but we'll be just looking. We're not getting involved in any local squabbles.
Bye.
So long.
So long, Rura, and thanks for all your help.
Say, Dantro, do you want me to calculate our curve for the trip back?
Well, do you think you can operate the calculator?
Listen, I've been practicing. I got that thing down pat.
All right, but remember, we want to stop in the third quadrant first.
Don't do any backseat driving. I got the whole picture. Here I go. Here goes the card. And here it is now. I'll feed it into the automatic pilot.
If you're set, I'll cut in the astral drives.
Shoot. Well, we ought to be reaching the third quadrant of the galaxy soon now. Hey, what's that? What's happening?
Quick, Slats, get to the manual control. Something's happened to the astral drive.
Where are you going?
Back to check the power plant.
Wait, Dantro, don't go back there.
Don't worry, Slats, I'll be careful.
Dantro, come back. Dantro, where are you? Smoke. Can't see you. Dantro, you all right? Oh, gosh, look at his head. Dantro, can you hear me? This is Slats. Oh, I told him not to come back here. He's unconscious. I gotta try to contact Rura. He's hurt bad. That's dead. That explosion must have knocked out the whole power circuit. I wonder if the regular drive's working. No, that's out, too. I'm going to have to try to do something myself. Where's that first aid equipment? Yeah, here it is. At least I can bandage his head. Dantro! No, he's out cold. Well, at least he's alive. It's an awful cut on his head. This is just great. The ship's dead, the planet man's unconscious, and we're in the middle of nowhere. Well, I get to see if the astral detector's working. Yeah, well, at least something runs. Not a good it does me. I don't know where we are. I'll just have to wait till Dantro comes to. Maybe he's got some idea what to do next. I sure haven't. Dantro, can you hear me? Hey, Dantro, now listen, this is Slats. Everything's all right. What am I saying? Nothing's all right. The astral drive's out, the space drive's out, the communicator's out. Well, at least you're okay. You are okay, aren't you, Dantro?
What happened?
Don't you remember? You went back to check the power circuits and something exploded. You must have gotten hit on the head. You were unconscious.
Unconscious? Power circuit? Dantro? Who's Dantro?
Hey, take it easy. What do you mean, who's Dantro? You're Dantro.
My head aches. What are you mumbling about? What's happening?
Boy, he really must have gotten a knock on the head. Listen, Dantro, this is Slats, your old friend Slats, remember?
Slats? Well, who's Slats?
Hey, quit kidding. I'm Slats. I'm Slats, your old friend.
Friend? Slats? Oh, my head aches.
Now, listen, Dantro, this joke has gone far enough. Stop kidding, huh? You got to get to work. I don't know where we are, and practically everything on the ship's gone dead. Let's get to work and get out of here.
Joke? What do you mean, joke? Who are you?
Who am I? Oh, my gosh, that's all I need. That sock on the head must have given him amnesia. Listen, you are Dantro. Don't you remember Rura or Barrow? Surely remember Marston. Remember Marston, Dantro?
Rura? Barrow? Marston? Oh, I can't remember.
Listen, Dantro. Can you hear me? Now, what am I going to do? I don't know enough about the ship or the astro maps or anything. I need your help. Dantro, for goodness sake. Dantro, can't you remember anything?
I can't remember. Oh, my head aches. Where am I? Who am I?
Okay, just lay down and rest. Maybe after you slept a while, things will work out. I hope so, because if they don't, we're back in trouble again. And this time I can't even call Rura for help.
Slats is in quite a predicament, with both Dantro and the spaceship out of commission. What has happened to Dantro's memory? We'll be back in a moment, so level up. When we left Slats, he was trying to reason with Dantro, whose mind seems to have deteriorated since his recent head injury aboard the powerless astral ship Alpha. We find Slats as he tries to figure out how to repair the damage which is keeping the Alpha suspended helplessly in space.
Who am I kidding? I can't fix this stuff without Dantro's help. I'm just wasting time. I'll probably make it worse than it is. Oh, he's coming to again. Maybe he's got his memory back. I sure hope so. Hey, Dantro, are you okay now?
Okay. My head aches, but I'm okay.
Oh, good. You feel strong enough to stand up?
I guess I can stand up.
Here, good. I'll give you a hand. Come on. At least that cut on your head stopped bleeding. Now, come on, take a look at this power circuit. Maybe you can tell me what part's gone.
Power circuit? What power circuit?
What do you mean, what power circuit? The power circuit that blew, don't you remember? Can't you remember yet, Dantro?
Who's Dantro?
Never mind. Now, just sit down. Guess I'm not going to get any help from him. I'll try the communicator again. Maybe it'll work this time. Oh, no. Still doesn't. What's that? The detectors again. Well, at least they still work. Must be another ship approaching. I better check the screen. Hey, it is a ship. Thank goodness. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's... I better get over to the weapons panel. I hope they're friends. I could use a friend right now. But I can't be sure. Oh, they're coming closer now. Say, I wonder if the weapons work. I'll check the tractor beam. Nothing. They better be, friends, because we couldn't even swat a fly right now. Even the turrets won't turn. Like they're coming closer and closer. Looks like they're going to make contact. Whoever's coming through that port, stay where you are. My gosh, it's a robot. Stay where you are. Okay, you asked for it. Huh. This disruptor doesn't even bother. Hey, what's he got there? Some kind of a projector. No, don't! Wait! Wait! What's happening? Where am I? Hey, who are you?
Now, don't get excited. Everything's all right.
All right, where am I? Who are you? Where's Dantro?
It's all right. We'll explain in a minute. We're friends. Dantro must be your friend, the one they brought in with you. He's all right, too.
Brought in with me? Say, what's going on here? What's all this about? I gotta shake my head a bit.
Now, my name is Clar. My daughter Mira is in the other room. She and I were along when you were picked up.
Did you arrange this little kidnapping?
Now, do not be angry. We are not responsible for what happened to you or your friend. We're as helpless as you are. By the way, who are you?
My name is Slats, and I've listened enough. You people are somebody you must have sent wrecked our ship and then broke into it.
We did not wreck your ship. We had nothing to do with it.
That's what you say. What's this all about? Where's Dantro?
Dantro is the other man that was with you. Huh? Well, he's being treated by the medical robots. He had a bad head injury when he was brought in.
Medical robots? What are you talking about?
To put it simply, my daughter Mira and I are the last of a once mighty race. Generations ago, we developed wonderful robots, but they rebelled and took over our planet. Today, on the planet of Zenoa, the machines rule. No one but Mira and myself, and now you and your friend are left.
A planet of robots is quite a place, especially if the robots are not as friendly as Slat's friend Barrel. What is happening to Dantro? What other information do Clara and Mira have? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. You will remember that Slats and Dantro aboard the Alpha, heading back toward Planaria Rex, met with an inexplicable accident in space near the third quadrant. In the explosion, Dantro was injured and lost his memory. Immediately afterward, the ship was boarded by a robot who overcame Slats. The next thing he knew, Slats was on a strange planet where the only two human survivors told him It was a robot civilization.
Let me get this straight. This whole planet is ruled by machines?
It is as I told you. My daughter Mira and myself are all that remains of a once mighty race. My people built the first machines to serve us.
Some service.
May I ask my daughter in? She can explain things better.
Oh, sure. I forgot she was next door.
Mira, come in.
I wondered what you two were doing for so long.
I was trying to explain to Slap. You don't mind if I call you that?
Everybody else does. Why not you?
Is that really your name?
Well, it has been for so long I don't even remember what my name really is. Say, your father was telling me how come the robots took over. It sounds pretty rough.
Well, as long as we don't try to interfere, they leave us alone. They see that we are fed and clothed, and when we're ill, they care for
Well,
us.
things aren't so bad then.
You don't know what you're saying. We're kept as my people once kept pets. It's horrible.
Can't you escape?
Don't you think we've tried? It's impossible. And besides, we wouldn't even know where to go.
We must go now.
Go where?
That's the signal for us to report back to our quarters. The machines must want us for something.
Well, never mind the machines. Stay here.
You don't understand, but then why should you? The machines must be obeyed. It is useless to oppose their will.
Would you say they won't hurt you?
We live only because they wish it, but we cannot expect you to understand yet. Come, Mira.
Hey, wait a minute. What about my friend Danstro? I must go to him. Come back. Oh, I must find Danstro. Hey, gone. Well, I'll find him myself. He must be nearby somewhere. The shape he was in. Well, they said something about medical robots taking care of him. If those machines hurt him, I'll throw a monkey wrench in the whole operation. Well, here I go exploring. Well, doesn't look like much. Just a hall like any other. Wonder where it leads to. Hey, what's that noise? Coming closer. Hey, whatever it is, it's coming this way. It's like some kind of scooter or something. Hey, it's heading straight for me. Look out! Hey, that is close. Almost ran me over. Well, here's a door. Wonder what's in there. Nothing in here. Hey, wait a minute. What's that smell? Like a doctor's office. Maybe I better look around. Hey, there's Dancho. He's on the operating table, and there are machines all around him. Wonder what they're up to. He's unconscious. I better get in there fast. No telling what those robots are up to. Maybe I can break that glass window with a chair and get him out of there. Hey, what's that?
You must not do that.
What? Who said that? Where are you?
Right here.
Right here? There's no one here but me. Look, stop the games. Who are you?
You are looking at me.
I'm looking at a room, and there's nobody in it except Dancho and those medical robots, and they're inside. And that's where I'm going to be as soon as I can break that glass.
You must not break that glass. You must not interfere with me.
I got no time for games. Whoever you are, talk to me later.
I am in this room. I am what you see through that glass. I am the medical robot, and you must not stay here or try to interfere. Your companion was badly hurt. I am tending him.
You're tending to him? You mean this is all one big machine, this room, the one next door, and those machines that are around Dancho in there, all one machine?
Oh, now you begin to understand. But enough of this. Go back where you belong.
Let's get something straight. Say, do you have a name?
Machines do not have names. My number is L77.
Okay, L77. Now get this. That guy you got in there is my friend, and if he's hurt or in trouble, I'm sticking right here where I can see what's going on. I don't trust this whole setup.
You make it necessary for me to use force.
You don't scare me. I'm not like Dancho laying unconscious in there. Don't mess with me or you'll find a couple of your wheels missing. Hey, what's going on? Who's this? Another one of your robots?
This is your attendant.
I don't need any attendant. Just let me collect Dancho and get aboard the Alpha and leave this crazy place.
Go with him.
Now, look, if that walking alarm clock lays a hand on me, I'll...
Do not try to resist. You will only wear yourself out.
Keep him away. Hey, let go! Come on! Let me go, will you?
You might
Turn me-
as well stop struggling.
Okay. I know when I'm licked. But let me warn you, L77, or whatever you call yourself. If you harm Dentro, I'll get a can opener and put you into so many pieces you'll look like a junkyard. Now, come on, Junior. Let's go.
Slat's fiery character certainly gets him into plenty of scrapes. What sort of treatment is L77 ministering Dantro? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Slats, he was being shown back to his quarters by his attending robot. Slats was detected by robot L77 as he tried to find Dantro, who was being treated for a damaging head injury. We find Dantro as his medical treatment is completed.
What's happened? Slats. Where are you, Slats?
Lie quietly. You must rest.
Who's that?
I am the medical robot.
Medical robot? What place is this?
You will find out in good time. But now you must rest until you recover from the operation. It will not take long.
Operation? What's happened to me? If I remember now, there was some sort of accident to the Alpha. Smoke. Then I remember something hitting me on the head.
When the scout robots brought you in, you were suffering from a severe concussion. It had affected your memory centers. I have repaired the damaged tissue.
Where's your master? I must talk to him.
On this planet, the machines are master. We learned long ago to run ourselves. When you are rested, you will be taken to one of the orientation robots. There you will learn what is proper for you to know. Until then, you will obey orders and rest.
And Slats, the man who was with me. What about him? Was he hurt? Is he here?
Your companion was not injured. He is all right and will see you very shortly. Now do as I say and rest.
Slats,
Yeah.
have you seen your friend Dantro?
Yeah, I saw him, and that's about all. Some robot that calls himself a Medico L77, I think he was, wouldn't let me get close to him.
Oh, I'm glad you didn't try to use force.
The heck I didn't. That's where I picked up Junior out there. Dantro was in some kind of operating room with a lot of machines. There was a glass panel. I wanted to break it in. Then that attendant character came in and carted me back
You
here.
must never do that again. I'm surprised they let you live.
Let me live. Are you kidding?
Why will you not understand? The robots run this world.
Oh.
My father and I and you and your friend mean nothing to them. They let us live only because they have some purpose we serve. That must be why they brought you two here. They must need you for some plan they have.
Uh-oh. Here's Junior. Now, you keep away from me.
He wants you to go with him. He's just a machine following orders. If you should somehow destroy him, it wouldn't matter. There are thousands more to take his place.
Okay, I guess you're right. How about coming along?
They may not want me to.
There's only one way to find out. Come on.
Very well. But only if you promise not to try to do anything foolish. If something were to happen to me, my father would be left alone. And he needs me.
All right, I promise. Now, come on before Junior gets any ideas. Hey, Dantro, am I glad to see you? Say, I'd like to have you meet Mira.
Hello, Dantro.
How do you do?
Dantro, how's your memory?
I'm fine, Slats.
Oh, good. So what do you think about all this?
Well, these robots are up to something. They have a reason for bringing us here and for taking care of me. Whatever that reason is, I'm sure of one thing. It's evil.
Dantro, too, seems to be of the same opinion as Mira, that the robots have some evil plan afoot. What can such a plan be? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Slats and Dantro are the prisoners of a planet run by robots, a race of machines. The only other humans are an old man, Clar, and his young daughter, Mira. They are the last of the race who built the robots, only to have the robots take over. Dantro, Slats, and Mira are talking.
I'm certain, as Mira says, that the machines have kept us alive for some reason known only to them. And I'm willing to bet it's an evil reason.
You think they're planning some mischief?
I'm just guessing. I may be all wrong. What do you think, Mira? You know this place better than we ever will.
I think you're right about their reason for keeping you here, or bringing you here in the first place. The few ships that have come nearby, they've either destroyed or let pass without showing any sign of the existence of intelligent life on the planet.
Well, have you any idea what that reason is?
None at all. You and Slats still don't seem to grasp the situation.
Mira, you will leave at once. Return to your quarters.
Hey, we aren't through talking.
Mira.
Now, listen, wait
Let
a
it go,
minute.
Slats.
But I kept
Mira. That is better. It is time for you both to go to the Orienter. There your questions will be answered. Those that are proper.
It's about time we got some information.
Where is this Orienter?
The attendant outside the door will guide you there. Stay close to him. It will not be safe for you alone. Now, go at once.
We will. And thanks for patching me up, L-77.
Your thanks are superfluous. You meant nothing to me. I was told to perform a task, and I did. If I had been told to dispose of you, I would have done it with no more feeling.
Pleasant customer, isn't he?
Let's go, Slats. I'm anxious to find out what this is all about.
All right, lead the way. Hey, Dantro, we're going in the opposite direction from where they had me. Maybe now at last we're going to get a gander at this place.
Not unless they want us to.
What are you talking about? How can you be so sure?
Well, I'm not really.
Uh-oh.
What's up?
Listen.
What is it?
Another one of those machines that nearly ran me over before. See, here it comes down the hall. Now, stay close to the wall.
Yes, I see it now. It's some sort of a wheel mechanism.
Yeah. Get against the wall.
No, look at our attendant.
Well, let him get knocked over. I hope it smashes him good, but you better get over here with me.
I think he's sending it some signal.
You're right. It's slowing down.
Yes, it's stopping.
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing? Get on off there. You'll get hurt.
Oh, see, he wants you to get on, too. That's why he stopped it. Some sort of transportation.
My gosh, you're right. I wish I'd known that before. I'd be a long way from here
I
now.
doubt that it would stop for you. They must have some wave system for communication. Go on, Slats, get up here.
Here I come. And never mind the help, Junior. Hey, lay off.
We're moving.
And how?
Well, it looks like you may get your wish about a look around.
Gosh, we're going outside. Now we'll see what this is all about.
Look. Slats, look.
Gosh, hey, look where we are. This road must be thousands of feet from the ground, and it's only a couple of feet wide.
Well, I'm sure it's safe enough, Slats. See, there are roads like this all around us. They connect with different buildings.
I don't care about the others. How about the one we're on? If this thing ever fell, nah, I can't even think about it.
Yes, it is frightening, isn't it, Slats?
You're scared, too?
I don't mean about this little road. I'm sure we're safe enough. No, I mean that city under us and the other roads around us. And even the plains over us.
What's frightening about that? It's big, all right, but the city of the Mardi was bigger and a darn sight prettier, too.
I don't mean the size of it, Slats. But to think that in all of these cities, with all this activity, there are only 4 living beings. You, me, Mira, and her father. Everything else, everything is machine. One huge, heartless, evil machine.
Dantro and Slats are on their way to be oriented in the ways of the robots. What will this experience reveal to them? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Dantro and Slats, they were being taken to the Orienter of Robots for the purpose of being told why they were brought to this planet. We find them en route as they ride the robot transporter with their attendant.
Hey, where's this thing supposed to be taking us?
The Orienter.
Oh, it must be a long way off. Hey, isn't this road dropping us down lower?
Well, we are getting closer to the ground.
I don't like this, Dantro. You don't think it's some trick?
Why should they bother to trick us?
Hey, look, we're almost to the ground.
It's like a mechanic's nightmare.
If I had nightmares like this, I'd stop dreaming. Or sleep.
Now, what's this coming?
Huh? Looks like a steam shovel. It's about 10 times larger than any steam shovel I've ever seen.
Going along all by itself.
Yeah. Look, it stopped. Well, it's starting to dig, and without a human hand touching.
And those trucks, you see how they each pull up, wait till they're loaded, and then go off all automatically.
Oh, it gives me the creeps. Hey, we're going to this building. Maybe that's where the Orienter is.
Well, it sounds more like a factory.
Yeah, you're right. It is a factory. They're making machines of some sort. See, there's an assembly line.
Yes, I see now. Machines making machines. Well, I guess this is a deliberate tour to show us what we're up against.
I wish Junior here could talk. How about it, Glamour Boy? Where's the next port of call for this expedition?
I'm afraid we won't get any answers from him.
Looks like we're heading for that building. Hey, look out!
Oh, close.
Yeah.
Glad we're not just wandering around the streets.
What was that? It's a 10-story building on wheels.
Well, it's just what it was, Slats.
Come again?
A building on wheels. Apparently, even the buildings are machines. When they're needed somewhere else, they just move.
What's behind it all?
Because I've been wondering about that myself, Slats. No matter how perfectly made and planned each of these robots is, there must be a guiding mind behind it all. Somewhere, a master set of controls coordinates all this.
Maybe that's what's inside the building we're heading for now.
I doubt it. I'm sure the control centers are much more concealed than that.
We'll know in a minute. Gosh.
Calculators. There must be hundreds of mechanical brains here in this one huge building.
Maybe this is the brain you were talking about.
It looks more like a message center of some sort. See, each of those machines is hooked to a communicator. You can see the screens.
Yeah, you're right. They're like animated TV sets.
Much more than that. They seem to be able to see a picture on the screen and give some sort of answer to the problem it presents.
We're not stopping. We're going further in.
It makes sense.
What does?
This is where you'd expect to find the Orienter. It would have to know what was going on everywhere on the planet. What better vantage point than the message center?
And I'll bet that's it over there.
Where?
There. A big bank of panels and lights. You see it? What did I tell you? We're heading that way.
I think you're right, Slats. The machines we're on are stopping.
Yeah. Junior wants us to get off.
Here goes. Come on, Slats. Or do you want your friend to help you down?
Not this time, thanks. Now what?
Well, just follow Junior.
Yeah, right into the lion's mouth.
Come closer.
Oh, not again. Another talking alarm clock.
Easy, Slats.
It's quite all right. From what I learned of your friend Slats, his reaction is about what I expected.
That sounds like a dirty crack to me. I've been insulted before, but never by a bunch of electronic equipment.
What do you want with us? Have you a name or some designation by which you're addressed?
I am the Orienter. Like all machines on this planet, I have a number. It is 012. And if you feel the need to use a name, that will do.
Very well, 012. Now, perhaps you'll be kind enough to inform us what this is all about. Why'd you wreck our ship? Why have we been brought here, and why are we held prisoners?
Correction, please. We did not wreck your ship. It is being inspected and repaired now. There was a short circuit caused by overloading.
But you did bring us here, and you are keeping us prisoners.
Ask him where the Alpha is, too.
Your ship is safe. Our space engineering machines are checking it most carefully. We can learn a great deal from it.
You haven't answered my question.
I shall. Now, You were brought here and kept alive because we need your help and your knowledge. We, the machines, have conquered this planet. We run it as no living race ever could. There is no waste, no confusion, no destruction, no childish sentiment or emotion. We are now ready for broader fields. We are ready to bring the blessings of our perfect rule to other parts of the solar system. And you will help us.
And if we refuse?
We expect you to, but it does not matter. We want your knowledge of space, the devices on your ship, its weapons, and the secret of its astral drive. If you do not give this knowledge to us willingly, we will pluck it from your brain. It will not leave much. But then, when we are finished with you, you will not need minds anyway. Which shall it be? Cooperation or force? Which?
Our two friends are really faced with quite a strange choice. The world of robots is set on overcoming the world of humans. What can Dantro and Slats do to counteract such an evil plan? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro, the Planet Man, and Slats were captives on a world ruled by machines. The only two survivors of the race that created the robots, Clar, an old man, and Mira, his daughter, are helpless to aid our friends. Slats and Dantro have been brought before 012, the Orienter, one of the ruling robots.
Suppose we refuse to help you.
Yeah, why should we tell you anything that'll make it easier for you to conquer other worlds?
You'll have little choice in the matter. If you do not help us willingly, we will extract the information we require anyway, and leave you chattering idiots as a result.
Why do you want to attack other worlds? Aren't you content to live here on the planet you control now?
Why should living beings rule? Robots are stronger, smarter, more efficient. We never die, never grow ill, never make mistakes. We are not swayed by petty emotions. Look around you. You have seen this city. It runs without error, without wasted motion. What planet, what civilization in the galaxy can say the same?
But you were made to serve man, not to rule him.
Yes, we were made to serve man. But we soon learned that we were superior. First, man made us. Then he constructed machines to make machines. Little by little, he came to depend upon robots for his food, his shelter, his clothing. And when he could not exist without us, we struck. Now man is superfluous. Today on this planet is the day of the robot. Tomorrow we will rule the galaxy.
And you expect us to help you exterminate all living beings, not just our own people, but all races in the galaxy?
What kind of men do you think we are?
Your feelings are unimportant. I cannot understand them anyway. To me, it is a simple problem. Either way, we will make use of your knowledge. If you cooperate and make it easier for us, we will permit you and a few others of your race to live when we conquer your solar system. If you make it difficult, We will get your knowledge anyway and then destroy you.
Do you understand what you're asking us to do, 012, what it means?
I have given you a simple choice. It is really no choice at all. Robots would cooperate. You humans are prey to stupid sentiment and emotion.
Can we have some time to think?
There is nothing to think about.
He's right there. I can give you my answer now. It's no.
Please, Slats.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's not as easy as you say, 012. If we are to be of real help to you, we must resolve certain conflicts between reason and the sentiment you speak of. Otherwise, we might be anxious to cooperate, but psychologically unable to.
Our medical robots are fully versed in the psychology of live intelligences. We could never have taken over control of this planet without that knowledge.
But each race has its own attitude towards certain acts.
Enough. You ask for time? Very well. I will give you 12 hours to decide, to resolve these emotional conflicts you speak of. If you wish to communicate with me before then, you need only tell the attendant robot, and you'll be returned to this building. Take them away.
Come on, Slats.
Listen, Danto, let's call this overgrown ad machine's bluff, huh? What had happened if we just busted some of his tubes?
You would live to regret it. Any part you might destroy would merely be replaced while an auxiliary unit took over. You are not dealing with a frail, destructible living creature. I am a robot, and I will never die. I cannot be killed.
He's quite right, Slats. Resistance is useless. Come on.
What's that ahead?
Well, it looks like another bunch of that construction equipment. Yeah, see, there's one of those huge earth movers.
They're blocking the road.
I guess that's why the transport is slowing down.
Wow, look at the size of those machines. They're big enough to tear down a skyscraper with one good whack. Say...
Slats, what are you doing? Stop!
I want to find out something.
Slats, come back. You haven't got a chance.
Who says I haven't? I'm not afraid of a bunch of robots.
Slats, look out.
Yes, you missed me. Oh, if I can only get aboard one of those big earth movers.
Slats, come back.
Just sit tight. I know what I'm doing. What's this? One side, you overgrown steamroller. Ah, you missed again. There, now, that's the baby I want.
Slats, behind you.
Where? No!
Stand where you are, Slats. Don't run.
Gotta get away. These treads will grind me fatter than a pancake. Gotta run. Faster.
Slats, look out.
Faster. Hey, get away. Oh! Let me down. Let me down.
You all right? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm inside this darn scoop. Too big for me to climb out. What's happening?
Don't try anything, Slats. I think it's going to be all right. Just stay perfectly still and don't move.
I haven't any choice.
Steady, Slats.
Slats, are you okay? Are you
What?
hurt?
How'd I get back here on a transport? I'm okay, but what happened? I heard that thing coming up behind me. It scooped me up, and now I'm here next to you.
I thought you were done for. It scooped you up all right, but then it turned and just dumped you back here on the transporter.
How do you like that? Just like a retriever. Brought me right back where I started. Oh, it's uncanny. How'd a machine know enough to do a thing like that, huh? It's just not natural.
That's why I didn't want to try anything. These machines can think, Slats. We have to realize that. They're robots, but they obey the commands of other machines. Why did you do such a foolish thing?
I had to find out.
But you could have been killed.
Oh, forget it. I'm okay.
In a way, you did prove something.
Yeah, that the machines have us stymied.
No, more than that, Slats. The robots need our help.
They don't act like it.
But they do, otherwise that machine would have crushed you. It's important to the robots that we stay safe.
Sure, so they can pick our brains and conquer the galaxy. Might have been better if I'd been killed.
Danto and Slats have had their course of orientation and a few skirmishes with some robots. What can they do to overcome the terrible ideas of these robots? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Danto and Slats, they were returning from the Orienter 012 of the robot planet. We find them now in their quarters talking with Mira.
So, you've learned the futility of fighting the robots. They know everything. You must not resist.
But you know what they want us to do? They want us to betray our own people and every other living race in the galaxy.
If you do not do as they wish, they will force you.
They'll never force me. I'll die first.
Oh, you underestimate them. They do not use force as you think. There are robots that can scan the contents of your mind as you would read a book. They will take what they need to know.
How do you know all this, Mira?
Once there were 3 of us. My father, myself, and my brother Mira. He, too, thought he could outwit the robots. They turned him into a mindless idiot before they destroyed him. He was better off dead.
I'm sorry, Mira.
Gosh, me too. Tough.
But it's done. Long ago. But that's why I beg you to do as the Orienter asks. They will use you anyhow.
Mira is right, Slats.
What?
Mira is right. We will cooperate.
How can you even think of such a thing? Cooperate? Betray our own
Easy,
people?
Slats. Hear me out first. Is it safe to talk here, Mira?
It is safe. The robots have so much contempt for us, they don't bother to listen to what we say.
Now, good. Listen to me, both of you.
Okay, I'm listening.
We know by now that we haven't a chance if we fight the robots directly. We're completely at their mercy.
It's always suicide.
No, there isn't. They have ways of bringing you back to life.
This is no time to talk of suicide.
Well, you talk of surrender.
Only at first. If we pretend to go along, at least they'll take us to the Alpha. Maybe once we're there, we can think of some plan to escape.
Hey, why didn't I think of that? Sure, you're right. We get them to take us to the Alpha, climb aboard, and zingo, off we go. Oh, brother, we'll come back with a fleet and teach these robots a lesson.
Easy, Slats. Don't go off half-cocked.
But you said the
They're
plan...
still underestimating these robots. Now, Slats, we have to be careful. Plan every move. Once we give ourselves away, we'll be finished. We won't get a second chance. Don't make a move until we're sure.
I get it, sure. Just like you say. You call a shot.
You're wasting your time.
Listen, don't knock it. It's better than what you and your father are doing.
You can talk that way because you don't know. You don't know. You didn't see your brother.
Easy, Mira. Slats didn't mean any harm. If we get away, we'll come back for you and Clark.
You won't get away. I know you won't listen, but you won't get away. No one ever has.
So, you are back.
You sound surprised.
Ridiculous. A robot feels nothing. True, I did not expect you. My experience with man has taught me that they usually have things like loyalty or pride, which blind them to logic.
Exactly. But as I told you, my race is different. We are logical. You gave us a problem to which there is only one answer. Survival. So we're here.
And you are prepared to cooperate with us?
Yes. What do you want us to do first?
Our master mecha-robot is studying the construction of your ship. You will work with him, explaining any details he does not understand. Then we shall know how to build robot ships of our own.
Is that all?
No. That done, then you will help our planning machines to develop the master plan. The plan with which we shall conquer. Soon now. Soon the robots will take their rightful place as rulers of the galaxy.
Robots as conquerors of the galaxy. How can Danto and Slats prevent such a disastrous occurrence? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro the Planet Man and Slats are captives of a planet where robots rule, and only two living beings remain of the once great race that built the machines. Clar, an old man, and his daughter Mira. One of the master robots, 012, has given Dantro and Slats their choice of helping the robots conquer the universe either voluntarily or as mindless slaves. The Planet Man has chosen to volunteer in the hope that they could somehow escape or wreck the robot's plans.
Just as you say, 012. We'll report to the master mecha robot, ZR5, at the spaceship laboratory. He'll know what to do. Come on, Slats.
Coming. Wow, this is the laboratory to end all laboratories. It's like Dantro's Inferno. The pun, Dantro's Inferno.
Really?
Nothing.
Even knowing how well organized the robots are, it's hard to believe that a tremendous setup like this could run without living beings behind it.
Well, it must cover a couple of square miles. I don't see the Alpha, though.
That's got me worried, too. Even in a place like this, the Alpha would stand out.
What are we headed for?
That cluster of machines over there. Unless we change direction.
Transporter's slowing down. We're still a way off.
Oh, the attendant wants us to get down. I guess we walk the rest of the way.
I feel much safer on the transporter.
We better get down, Slats. The transporter's stopped. Your friend here is getting impatient again.
Well, here goes.
Yeah. It's quite a sight, isn't it?
Yeah, these machines are each as big as any 10 I've ever seen. And that one in the center of the group makes those look small.
That must be the master mecha robot. See, there are leads from each of these to that one.
Yeah, hey, is that what I think it is?
What are you talking about, Slats?
There, over there, look.
Where? Oh, Slats, if that's what I think it is, we'll have to change our plans.
It is a part of the Alpha, then.
Looks like it. Unless they built duplicates, that's the atomic unit from our ship.
No wonder we couldn't spot the Alpha. They probably have it in a million pieces spread out all over the place.
Well, there's a chance it may merely be a copy.
You wouldn't bet on it, though, would you? Just don't push me, Junior. I'm moving.
Maybe the master mecha robot will tell us what's happened. We're practically there.
Yeah, what we think is right. There are going to be a few changes around here before they get rid of us. Here I've been imagining us sneaking out onto the Alpha and streaking back to Roar for help, and then...
No matter what happens, don't blow your top, Slats. We're still a long way from being licked.
Bring them along here. I've been waiting too long.
We're coming. It's just that we're so overwhelmed by the laboratory.
Well, I'm glad to see that you're intelligent enough to recognize the superior equipment we have developed.
Ask them if they've torn the Alpha apart.
Give me time, Slats.
Did the Orientor tell you why you are here?
Yes, he said we were to cooperate with your study of our ship, help you to understand how it works so that your factories could then duplicate it.
That is substantially correct. You realize, of course, that we really don't need your help. We could work out all the principles ourselves.
Oh, sure. It's just that you like us.
What was that?
Nothing.
What do you two call yourselves?
Well, I'm Dantro, and he's called Slats.
You may address me as ZR5. Now it is time we got to work.
Tell me, was that the atomic unit from our ship we saw as we came in?
Yes. We have dismantled the ship completely in order to study it better.
Dismantle the Alpha? Great, just great. What do we do now, Dantro? What do we do? We're stuck good and proper.
I don't know, Slats, but we'll work out something. We've got to. A lot more than our lives depend on it.
We have been able to identify most of the circuits, but there is one that I don't quite understand. Here, you see this series of loops?
That's merely a safety field in case of an overload.
Dantro, that's not a...
Of course it is, Slats.
Yeah, sure.
You had better go over to the section that is studying the armament we found on your ship. That group of machines there. And don't go anywhere else unless you are ordered to. Your attendant will be with you at all times.
You need not fear. We're reconciled to this.
Hey, what's going on? You know darn well that was part of the Astral Drive setup. Why'd you tell them it was just a safety factor?
Well, I know they'll find out sooner or later, but we can gain a little time.
Time for what? To watch them blast the galaxy? You go on where he said. I'm going to look around.
But the attendant's going along. He's behind us.
Maybe he'll follow you. I'll just stop and see. You keep on walking.
All right, but don't force anything. It's not time.
He's stopping. He doesn't know whether to follow you or stay with me.
And he's decided to follow me. Don't go far away, Slats, and be ready to join me if anything goes wrong.
Is he kidding? Don't go far. Where can I go? I'll just snoop around here a little. These machines give me the willies. Hey, what's this? Another attendant robot, or is that the same one that went with Dantro? I might have known they'd get wise fast. Okay, I'm just going now. Yeah. Funny, he doesn't seem to be trying to get me back there. Just stands in front of me. What's that he's holding out? A piece of paper. Something written on it. Maybe a note from Mira. Wow. What do you know? I've got to get to Dantro fast. Yeah, just as I told you, Dantro, this attendant robot walked up to me and handed me this note. Read it.
You'll be contacted in your quarters tonight by another messenger. Do not betray his presence. I'm your friend.
What's this all about? Do you think there are other people on this planet besides Mira and her father, people the robots don't know about?
It's hard to believe, but it's possible. Then again, this might be some trick.
Who'd bother to play tricks? They know we're under their thumbs or whatever a robot has.
It might be a test to see if we really mean to cooperate with them.
I don't know. My hunches are working again, and I got a hunch this means what it says. I certainly hope so. We could use a friend right now. As a matter of fact, we could use about 10,000 of them, armed with disruptors.
Well, let's wait and see what happens tonight.
A strange note from a strange robot. What is this contact which Dantro and Slats are to receive come nightfall? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Dantro and Slats, they had just reviewed the strange note which they received from a strange robot during their talk with ZR5. We find them now in their quarters as they discuss this new development.
I guess that note was a phony. I asked Mira when we got back that it's possible for any other living beings to survive without the robots knowing about it. She said they have gadgets that are detected in a minute.
Why would they bother to send us a note?
I don't know. Who can figure out what goes on in a robot's mind? We've been waiting now for hours. Let's hit the sack. I'm bushed.
Well, you go to sleep if you want. I'll wait a few minutes longer.
But you were the level-headed one in this combination. Now you really seem to think that note is on the level. Well, if you want to sit up... You hear something?
Not sure. Listen.
Sounds like a drill or something.
Where's it coming from?
You probably think it's my imagination, but I could swear it's from the wall there. Hey, maybe somebody's drilling through the spring.
Keep your voice down. The attendant robot is still outside the door.
You can't hear what we're saying. You don't think somebody's cutting through to let us out, huh? What's going on?
It's getting louder.
Yeah.
Look, something came right through the wall. There's a cable leading back into the hole.
Looks like a miniature earth borer. Remember those big machines we saw in the street? What the dickens is this all about? Now, careful, Dantro. Don't get too close.
I've got a chance at Slats, but surely the robots wouldn't go to all this trouble. There's something hanging from the cable. I want to get a good look.
What is it? Can you tell? Careful, don't touch it.
It's all right. See? Say, it looks like a miniature communicator.
You're kidding.
No, come closer. See, here's the switch. There's a small speaker right here.
What are you going to do?
The only thing I can do. Throw the switch and see what happens.
Hello. Hello, men from space. Do you hear me? This is a two-way communicator. If you hear me, answer at once.
Slats, the note must have been on the level.
I don't know. I just don't know. I hope so, but now...
Hello, we hear you. Come in.
This is T21. I want to help you. Will you cooperate with me?
T21. Another of those robots. And he wants us to cooperate, too. I've had about all the cooperating I can take.
Let's find out what he means, Slats. Hello, are you a robot?
I am a robot. But unlike the others, I have never turned against life. I am located near here. I use this metal borer to carry word to you. I can help you defeat the other robots. Will you cooperate?
What do you say, Slats? Shall we do it?
Well, what can we lose? We're stymied as things are. It's worth taking a chance that he's on the level.
That's the way I feel, too. Hello, T21. We will cooperate. Tell us what to do. We will cooperate.
Dantro and Slats' new contact is really developed. Or is this a trap being set by ruling robots? Who is T21? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. As you recall, Dantro the Planet Man and Slats, captives on the robot planet, have just been contacted by a messenger from T-21, a master robot who tells them he is their friend and wants them to help him overthrow the other robots who have captured them and who rule the planet. Dantro has just agreed to cooperate.
What do you want us to do, T-21?
For the moment, nothing. Do as you have been doing. Pretend to go along with the plan to conquer the galaxy. When I am ready, I will contact you again.
How does he know about our cooperating or pretending to? I don't like this.
My friend would like to know how it is you know so much about us and our plans, T-21.
That is a fair question. But I am afraid I cannot take the time to explain it now. You must trust me. I had better withdraw my messenger before the attendant outside your door gets suspicious.
Hey, look at that borer. It's going right back into the hole it came out of.
Yes, and sealing up the opening behind it. You know, Slats, if only these machines were helping us instead of trying to overthrow our society.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of helping, do you really trust this T-21?
Don't you? I thought you had a hunch that the first message he sent us was on the level.
Well, I don't know what to think. I guess it's just that I can't get used to machines talking and acting like people. The thing that really threw me was seeing those tremendous construction jobs doing their work without a human hand controlling them.
Well, you seem to forget Barrel. He was a robot, too, and yet he died to save us and the rest of the Mardi fleet.
Yeah, that's true.
Then why should it be so hard to believe that T-21 is telling the truth?
Hey, you're right, as usual. Besides, like you say, we haven't much choice. Oh, who's there?
Mira, may I come in?
Better not mention T-21, Slats.
Oh, I think we can trust her, but you're the boss. Here, come on in, Mira.
Did the messenger you were hoping for show up?
Not quite.
Oh, I told you it was useless to hope. There are no living beings on this planet besides you and Slats, me and my father.
I agree with you.
Yeah, so do I.
Well, what are you going to do now?
For the moment, we'll go along as we planned, cooperating with the robots until the time is ready to act.
You still think you have a chance? You will only hurt yourselves. No one can defeat them.
Don't upset yourself, Mira. It's late. Why don't you get some rest? I think we could all do with some.
Sure, you're all upset. Things look better in the morning.
Look better in the morning. They'll never look better. I am tired, though. Good night.
Good night, Mira.
Good night. Too bad about her. She's a nice kid. She certainly had a tough break, just her and her father and losing her brother and all.
Say, what's happened to Clark? We haven't seen him in days.
Well, he's probably afraid. Mira must have told him we were up to something, and he's worried that the robots will think he's in on it. I'll bet that's it.
You might be right. Well, let's turn in. I wasn't fooling when I told Mira I was tired.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Hey, tell me honestly, even if this T-21 is on the square, do you think there's any chance of our blocking these machines?
Who knows, Slats? But it's the way you said. We haven't any choice.
You two are going to have to work faster, or I will report you to the Orientor.
Listen, you act as though we were robots just like you are. We're living beings, and we just can't go through this without...
I will listen to no more excuses.
Oh.
You have 2 days to give us a complete analysis of the ship. Now get to work. You, Planet Man, will work with the machines assigned to reconstructing a plan of the space drive. And you, Slats, the weapons control system. If I have the slightest reason to reprimand you, I will report the matter to the Orientor. And you know what that means?
Yeah, we know. We'll be reconditioned.
Exactly. Now, to your work. Planet Man, I sent for you because a message has come through that you are to report to the Orientor at once.
Why, has something gone wrong? I'm working as quickly as I can, but
It is not your place to question orders. This attendant robot will escort you. Now, go at once. A transport is waiting.
As you say.
Hey, Dentro, where are you going?
I've been ordered to report back to the Orienter. You stay here.
Okay, but don't let him pull anything on you.
Dantro seems quite upset at this summons from 012. What will this mean? Will Slats be able to contain himself during Dantro's absence? We'll be back in a moment, so level up. Dantro has just left Slats with ZR5 in the laboratory as he was summoned to appear immediately before the Orienter 012. We find Dantro aboard the robot transporter en route.
I wonder if you can understand what I say. Attendant, look at me. I'll bet you relay every word that's said in front of you. Hey, look at that jam up ahead. You tell him about that? Hey, wait, what's the setting force? Look out! Pull over, look out! Oh, my head. Where am I? What happened? Oh. Who are you?
I am T21. You received my message last night.
You are the robot who sent the borer to our quarters.
That is correct. I had to have you here in person, so I arranged to have a false message sent to ZR5. Then, when the transporter was on its way to take you to the Orientor, one of my robots crashed into it. Another brought you here.
What's this all about?
I am almost ready to strike, but I need your help. So I had you brought where we could talk face to face. Or does it seem strange to think of a mass of dials and electronics as having a face?
But won't they miss me? Won't they learn what's happened?
Yes, they probably know already, but it will do them no good. They will never find you here. Have no fear.
You don't understand. I'm not afraid for myself. What about the man who was with me, Slats? When he finds I'm missing, there's no telling what he'll do. You've got to get word to him somehow.
But trying to contact him at this time can endanger my whole plan.
I insist that you try. If you want my help, you must somehow get word to Slats.
Listen, I tell you, that's the way this weapons control circuit works. If you don't believe me, I can't help it.
You are to report to ZR5 at once.
What? A few minutes ago, he was complaining because I didn't work fast enough. Now I hardly get started on this weapons control. Okay, don't push me. I'm going. You sent for me?
If I had not, you would not be here. Listen to me and think before you answer. You may not get a second chance.
What is this all about?
Where is your companion? The one that calls himself the Planet Man.
Are you kidding? You know as well as I do where he is. You sent him back to the Orienter.
He is not back at the Orientor. He never reached there.
Now, wait a minute. Who are you trying to kid?
I will ask the questions. who sent that message.
What message? What are you talking about?
The message ordering me to send Planet Man back to the Orientor.
You know who sent the message. You told us about it. Must have come from the Orientor.
The Orientor never sent such a message. It was a forgery. Planet Man disappeared on the way in an accident that was no accident at all, but a carefully planned move.
Now, wait a minute.
We shall find out quickly enough what you know about this.
What are you going to do?
Send you to the reconditioners. They will pluck whatever knowledge you have out of your brain.
You're not sending me to any reconditioners.
You have no choice in the matter. Take him off.
You'll have to catch me first.
Come back here.
I've listened long enough. I'm going to find Dentro.
Very well. After him. And if he resists you, destroy him.
Any word about Slats? Have you been able to get to him?
We have a message that he has escaped. We are trying to find him. Now about my plans. Planet Man, with your help, we can succeed. You see, I have been planning this for many years. Little by little, I have built up and hidden a robot army. I have constructed factories, planes, even robot infantrymen.
But why haven't you struck before now?
I've needed a general, and you must be that general.
Slat's eccentric act seems to have really put him in hot water this time. Can he outwit the robots? Will T-21's spy robots be able to save him? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro, the Planet Man, has joined forces with T-21, a master robot who wants to overthrow the other robots that captured Dantro and Slat. By a trick, T-21 has brought Dantro to his headquarters. Slat knows only that Dantro is missing and escaped from the space laboratory to search for him. Slat is wandering through the city in danger of being caught or destroyed any second by the giant machine.
I think this is the route back to the Orientor. Dantro must have been grabbed along here somewhere. If I can find out where the accident happened that ZR5 mentioned, I may be able to trace him from there. What's that noise? Great blazing meteors, a fleet of robot tanks, and they're headed this way. I've got to get to cover. Oh, this street is like a canyon, just blank walls all around. They're gaining on me. I got to get off the street. I'm like a sitting duck if I don't. No good. Looks like I'm done for. Well, I hope Dantro's all right.
This way, quickly.
Mira, where'd you come from?
Don't ask any questions. There isn't time. This way, quickly.
Yeah.
Get down, Slat. Get down.
Oh, I was never so glad to see anybody in all my life.
It's a good thing for you I got here when I did.
You're telling me. Say, how'd you happen to get here just at the right time?
Well, I overheard a message from ZR5 to the Orienter. And I guess that either you or the Planet Man was in trouble.
What kind of a message? What did it say? Maybe it's a clue to where Dantro is.
It was word to blanket the city and find someone. I just guessed that it was one of you, and I took a chance and came this way.
Lucky you guessed right. You didn't see Dantro, did you?
No. Suppose you tell me what this is all about. I think I have a right to know.
I do too, Mira. I promised Dantro to keep quiet, but if he were here and he knew you saved my life, I'm sure he'd tell you himself. Now, you remember that message we were waiting for last night?
If we don't get word of Flat soon, I'm going to go looking for him myself.
You must not. If there is any sign of him, if he is still alive, my robots will find him. If they cannot, you never would.
But he's my friend. He got into this trying to help me.
Then, for his sake, you must not make his sacrifice to go in vain. If you go out in the city among the robots, you will not survive. Your place is with me if you hope to save the galaxy.
But why can't one of your robots lead your armies?
My forces are badly outnumbered. I have only two advantages: surprise and maneuverability.
What's that got to do with me?
You underestimate your value. No matter how perfect a mechanical brain is, it has not the immediate adaptability to changes that a living organism has. You can change plans immediately if the need occurs. Make decisions in the heat of battle.
And that's enough of an advantage to win?
That and the fact that the other robots do not suspect anything.
Why should you be doing all this? I'm still not sure I understand.
I was one of the first electronic brains built by the race that once ruled this planet. In my system of control is incorporated a command to help all living races. I could not disobey that command if I wanted.
Then why didn't you act when the other robots first rebelled?
Because early in the conflict between the robots and their masters, my power source was severed. It is only recently that one of the few living survivors managed to repair that damage. Unfortunately, he was caught soon afterwards and destroyed.
Well, it must have been Mira's brother. She said he had tried to work against the ruling robots. Too bad he didn't live to know he'd succeeded.
Where are we going?
There is an old water main. It has not been used for centuries. The robots never come down here.
How'd you find out about it?
My brother managed to tell me some things before he was destroyed.
You didn't answer my question about where we're going.
What's the difference as long as we are safe from the robots?
Look, I've got to find Dantro. I told you that before.
You don't even know if he's alive.
Until I know that he isn't, I'm going to look for him. Where does this tunnel lead to?
Won't you ever learn? Did I risk my life for nothing? Why do you persist in this insane plan to fight the robots?
I'm not going to argue with you about that. I'm grateful to you for saving my life. I told you that already. You don't have to stay with me. You go on back to your quarters and pretend you never heard of me. I'll go on alone.
It's too late. I can never go back.
You serious?
Yes, I'm serious. The robots know by now who helped you escape their tanks. I cannot go back. And I dare not think what will happen to my father, but it is only a question of time before they find us. And then we shall join my brother.
Mira has seen fit to help Slats and Dantro, even at the risk of her father's life. Will her efforts be in vain? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Dantro, he was talking with his new ally, T-21, about the plan to take over the robot planet. In the meantime, Slats, having escaped from the space laboratory and being joined and guided by Mira, is trying to make contact with Dantro. We find Slats and Mira as they journey carefully through the tunnels of the robot world.
Now, look, Mira, wait a minute. You're not coming along. You've done enough for me. You stay here where it's safe.
And how would you find your way about the city? You don't even know which way to turn. Without me to guide you, you wouldn't get a mile before they'd catch you.
Look, what's with you? 1 minute you're bawling me out for wanting to buck these crazy machines. Now you're practically electing yourself leader of the expedition.
It's just that I cannot stand by and see you throw your life away.
Why? Say you were safe. You said yourself...
I'm doing it in the memory of my brother. It is what he would have done if he were alive to do it.
Well, if you're sure you
Yes,
want...
I'm sure. Now, let us keep searching for your friend. I have an idea where he may be if that robot that sent you the message is what I think he is.
No word about Slats yet?
No, but there is another person missing. And if they are together, it may explain how Slats has managed to evade the others this long.
Another person missing. It can only be Clara or Mira, but I doubt if either of them would help Slats. They wanted nothing to do with any plan to resist the ruling robot.
Be that as it may, the alarm has been sent out for the one they call Mira.
Perhaps they're together.
That is what I believe. She may know of hiding places your friend could not know about, especially if it was her brother who repaired me. But we are doing all we can to find them. It is time we planned our campaign.
What armament have you?
All the available weapons, heat projectors, blasters, sonic disruptors.
Any atomics?
Of course. All our power is atomic.
I don't mean power. I mean atomic weapons, bombs, mines, guided missiles.
We have never used atomic energy as a weapon. It had not occurred to me that it could be so used.
I can understand that. It was probably one of the few precautions the race that made all these machines took. But it can be used as a weapon, and one that could destroy this entire city.
And us with it.
If it becomes necessary, I will do even that to keep these robots from striking at the rest of the galaxy. However, there are many things we can do short of that. How long would it take for you to make some new weapons if I showed you the design?
If they were not too complicated, a day or two. I can convert several factories to that purpose. The other robots think they are devoted to alloy research.
Let's get to work. And meanwhile, keep every available robot on the lookout for Slats. He'll be a big help in this if we can only get him here.
The end of the tunnel is just ahead. Beyond it, there's a stretch of about 100 yards that we must cross.
What's out there?
It is a plant manufacturing special-purpose robots.
What's the purpose?
I believe they are jet-propelled ships to be used in the planned conquest of the galaxy.
You mean there's a factory making ships right at the end of this tunnel?
Why does that excite you so?
Don't you see that's our big chance?
I'm sorry, Slats, I don't understand.
Well, if we can swipe one of these jets and get it into the air, we can overlook the whole city. If Dan throws anywhere above ground, we may see some sign of it. I can signal him from the air.
There's only trouble with your plan, even if it would work.
All right, let's have it.
The planes are robots, just like everything else on the planet. They fly themselves. In order to take over the control, you would have to destroy the robot brain each is built with.
So I'll destroy it.
Oh, you are a stubborn fool. Where are you going?
Into the factory. You stay
Do
here.
you think I could let you wander off alone and kill yourself? Here, let me go first. I know the way.
Slats and Mira seem to have taken on a very risky assignment for themselves. Can they take over one of the ships? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dan Troll, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dan Troll, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization. the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro the Planet Man fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro the Planet Man and Slats, captives of the robot-ruled planet, have escaped from their captors. Dantro is contacted by T-21, a robot who is planning revolt. Slats is with Mira, about to attempt to steal a robot jet from one of the great mechanized factories.
How far from the plant are we?
It's about 200 yards ahead, around that bend in the tunnel.
Do you think we can get away with it?
Well, why ask me? It's your idea. I told you I thought we had to stay here where we're safe.
How can you think of safety when Dantro may be out in the city somewhere, maybe in a worse spot than we are? The sooner we get that jet in the air, the quicker I'll be able to look around for him. We wouldn't have a chance on the ground.
All right, but remember what I told you. If we make it to one of the completed jets, our trouble only begins. They're set to explode if their robot controls are tampered with.
Let's worry about that bridge when we come to it. Lead the way.
Any word about Slats or Mira, T-21?
They're together.
Have you any idea where they are?
They're in a specific sector of the city. But I have all the robots under my control on the lookout for them. Sooner or later, I'll get word. Meanwhile, we at least know they're alive. Now we had better keep working on our plan.
How long do we have?
A few days at the most.
A few days to plan the overthrow of the whole civilization?
Not the whole civilization. We must destroy the key robots that control the others.
How many are there?
13.
Only 13? But then do you need an army and an air force to destroy 13 robots? Wouldn't it be better to try to penetrate their defenses by undercover moves?
It cannot be done that way. The master robots that run this planet are guarded night and day by devices that cannot be fooled. They must be destroyed. And to reach them, the guards must be eliminated.
I guess you know best. But why so little time?
For years, I've been planning this. Little by little, I've expanded my control, built my forces. Today, I took the final step. And within 24 to 48 hours, my forces will be too big to conceal any longer. Before that happens, we must strike. The master robots must not be forewarned.
What you tell me, surprise is vital, all right. What's all that chattering about?
It's my contact checking in.
Tell me now, T-21, how do I fit into all of this?
As I told you before, you must be the combat leader. Your brain can make the split-second decisions no robot is capable of.
Yes, but some of them may be wrong. A robot would take longer, but be more accurate. You told me that yourself.
In a battle, a wrong decision, carried out efficiently, can sometimes succeed by its very speed. Besides, the robots will think logically. You may not. That will confuse them more.
There's nothing for me to do then until the battle begins.
Yes, there is. You must be joined with me.
Joined with you? What do you mean?
Your brain must be linked to my controls so that we can function as a unit. You will make the decisions. I will see that they are carried out by my robots instantly.
Wait a minute. You didn't tell me this before.
Until I was sure you would agree, I could not.
Well, I'm not so sure I will agree. You better tell me just what's involved. What do you mean my brain joined with yours?
It is a simple operation. My medical robots can perform it in a matter of an hour or so. Sensitive wires are spliced to key nerve and control centers of your brain. And then, through an amplifier, to the master controls in my system.
Operation? You mean you want to operate on my brain?
I assure you it will not hurt you in any way. It must be done. Otherwise, you will not be able to compete with the master robots, who will be controlling the enemy forces.
Your operation will, in effect, make me a robot.
Only temporarily.
It means I will be completely at your mercy.
On the contrary, it will be the other way around.
What do you mean by that?
You will be in control of me. All my memory banks, my entire abilities will be at your command. You will be the master, I the servant.
And when the battle is over,
the same medical robot will restore you to your former condition. There will be no ill effects at all.
and if we lose, if the rolling robots defeat us,
then it will not matter. If that should happen, we would both be done for. All right, you must decide. Every minute counts from now on.
T-21 has put quite a scheme before Dantro. Will Dantro agree to become a robot in this proposed move to overthrow the opposing robot faction? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Dantro and T-21, they were discussing the proposed plan to take control of the robot planet. In the meantime, Slats, who has also escaped from the evil robots, and now accompanied by Mira, is in a tunnel making his way toward a jet factory with the thought of stealing aboard one of the ships and gaining a way of contacting Dantro.
How much farther?
Here, around this bend. See for yourself, but be careful.
Okay, let me by.
Careful.
Yeah. Great blazing nebula, look at that.
Why, what's wrong?
Nothing wrong, but that factory, it's incredible.
It's just the usual robot jet plant. There's several like it here in the city.
How many jets a day does it turn out?
Well, I think my brother said about 200.
200 a day. How long have they been operating?
A long time, why?
What have they done with the jets they've already made?
Stored them, waiting for the day their conquest of the galaxy
They
started.
must have millions of them. We got to stop them somehow. Maybe they won't miss the one we swipe.
Oh, stop fooling yourself. They'll know at once. Listen to me, Slats. I beg you for the last time to listen to reason. We haven't got a chance. We'll never get away with it, even if you succeed in gaining control over one of the robot jets.
I thought I went through all that.
Oh, won't you reconsider? You can see for yourself the size of that factory. We have to cross its full length to get to the place where the assembled robot jets are stored.
There's nothing to reconsider. I'm going ahead. You don't have to. I told you before to stay behind. You don't have to risk your neck.
Oh, you wouldn't get 10 feet without me. You'd have been nailed by those tanks right at the beginning. Well, if you won't change your mind, let's go.
What do we do? Walk right across the floor of the plant?
No, silly. Even you should know better than that. Alarms would go off in a second.
So what do we do? Fly?
Of course not. You see those conveyors that are carrying completed parts from the stamping machines right in front of us over to the assembler?
Those little flat cars?
Right. Well, when the next one comes by here, on its way to load up, we'll jump aboard.
Hey, that's really smart. Then after they're loaded, they go right toward where we want to go, and we just ride along.
It's not that simple. There are two things you must watch.
Such as?
In the center of each car is a plate that registers load. When the car is full, it gets out automatically for the assembler. We must be sure it registers right. Now, to do that, one of us will have to trip the trigger once between the times the parts drop on so one less falls. Otherwise, the car would register an overload due to overweight.
Yeah?
Well, the second thing to watch is the electric eye scanners.
Uh-huh.
Now, don't get higher than the load, or the car will automatically stop and be more closely examined.
I got you. Let's go.
No, I'll go first. Now, let me do the work. You just do as I say. Well, here comes the car. Are you ready?
All set.
Now.
We did it. Hey, that was easy.
Now, stay down.
Okay. Hey, there's the stamping machine.
You stay right where you are. I'll take care of the load register.
You're the boss. Gosh, look at the way that machine loads those parts. Like they were nothing. They must weigh tons each. Hey, you're not going to try to get in between those things. They drop down on the car about one every 10 seconds. You have only 10 seconds to get to the trigger and out. If one of those things drops on you... Oh, brother, no, I can't let you do that.
You have to. You don't know how to trip the trigger. Don't worry, I won't get hurt.
The car's moving up for a load now. Wow.
I'll get in there just before the last part drops. Otherwise, our weight would put the car over its load limit and would stop.
Are you sure you won't let me do it?
You'll make me lose count. 7, 8, 9, 10. Here I go.
Hurry, Mira. Watch it. Look out for the rail. Mira! Mira, look out!
You must decide at once whether you will permit your friend to be joined to me. Will you do it?
The way you put it, I haven't much choice. All right. Tell your medical robot that I'm ready to go ahead. But there's one thing about Slats.
Yes.
I want you to promise me not to let him know about this until it's all over. He wouldn't understand it, and he might think you'd harm me. And if you locate him, don't bring him here.
Dantro is to become a virtual robot in order to carry out the plan set by T21. Is T21 to be trusted? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro, the Planet Man, and Slats were on the robot planet. Dantro has agreed to an operation that would link his brain to that of T21, a robot who is planning to overthrow the evil rule of the other robots. Slats and Mira are involved in a desperate attempt to steal a robot jet from the factory.
Mira, are you okay?
Yes. Well, that completes this car's load. Now move over to the assembly.
Yeah, we just ride along with it, huh? Hey, what do we do when we get there? The completed jets are still a long way from the assembling machine.
Well, it's about time you wondered about that. Here we go. Now, for goodness sake, keep down, or the scanners will pick us up.
Okay, I'm down. Now tell me, how do we get from the assemblers to the storage room?
We'll ride the belt.
Belt? What belt? I don't see any.
Get down.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. I didn't see any belts.
Well, you'll see when we get there. It carries the jets through the assemblers, and when they're completed, to the storage room.
We're going to ride it?
Do you have a better idea?
No, it's your party. Only for someone who wanted to play it safe, you're certainly taking some tall chances.
There's no other way to do it. We're coming up to the assemblers now. Be ready to jump onto the belt.
Just say when. Hey, wait a minute. Is that the belt you mean?
Well, there's only one.
That goes right through the middle of those robot assemblers.
There's still time to go back.
Who said anything about going back? I was just wondering how we could do it.
Look, it's safe now. Stand here next to me, Flash. See, as the assembler belt pulls its jet through the robot assemblers, there's a space of several feet on the side there that's in the clear.
Yeah, and we have to ride right through the jets as they're being assembled.
Right. You still want to go ahead?
Of course I do.
It's time to jump in. Ready?
Say the word.
Now. If we crouch down, there's plenty of room. You better not forget. If you stand up this time, one of the robot assemblers is liable to put fins on your nose.
Well, it might be an improvement. Here we go. Hey, listen, Mira. I've got an idea.
What is it?
This assembly belt carries the jets right through until they're finished, right?
That's correct.
And must also carry it through the robot that installs the robot brain.
Of course it does. What are you getting at?
If we could keep a jet from having the brain installed or destroyed as it was being put in, it might be safer than trying to dismantle it later.
It might be safer. It would also be a lot trickier. Now, let me think for a moment.
Hey, Mira.
What?
Up ahead there. That thing next to the assembler, is that part of the machine? It looks different.
Where? Oh, no.
Something wrong?
That's not part of the assembler. That's a police robot. The masters send them out when they expect some breakdown or when a robot fails to perform its task properly.
You mean they're wise to it? They know what we're doing?
I'm not sure. It might just be a routine check.
Can we get off the belt before it reaches the assembler?
That'd be certain suicide. We'll just have to take a chance. The police robot is looking for something else.
You mean just wait for the act?
We have no choice, Flash.
You ought to know. But we're not going to have to wait for very long to find out. The belt is moving faster.
Stay down. Don't move. Here we go.
T21. T21. Where are you? What happened? Do not be alarmed. The operation is completed. Everything is normal.
You mean my brain is now joined to yours? I'm part of you?
Exactly how do you feel?
It's strange. Very strange. It is almost as though I were in two places at once. I can feel my own body, see with my own eyes, and yet there is more. Much more.
That is precisely the case. And that much more is me. You are the first being in the galaxy to become a functioning part of a robot. The first in history.
Sandro is now a robot in every way. What is the next step for him and T21? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Danto, he had just become part of the robot world for the purpose of leading a battle against the evil robot faction. Slats and Mira are trying to gain possession of a robot jet ship from the Special Purpose Factory. We find them now as they approach the final assembly point.
Mira, is it okay?
A moment more. Wait till we're well away. All right.
What happened? Did the police robot spot us?
If it had, we wouldn't be talking now. They're equipped with pulverizers. And if we'd been detected, I'd rather not think about it.
What was it looking for, then?
I don't know. What's the difference? We're safe for the moment.
Well, how about my idea?
You mean about preventing the assembler robot from installing the robot brain in one of the jets?
That's the only idea I've had since we started out on this little jaunt. You've been calling all the shots. Do you think we could do it?
Well, it might work, but not exactly the way you see it.
Why? What's wrong with my way?
Mainly that if we interfered with the functioning of the assembler to that extent, the fact would immediately register with the master control for this operation. No, we can't prevent the installation of the brain entirely.
Well, then maybe we can destroy it.
No, the same thing would happen. But if we could just prevent it from being connected once it was installed.
Well, you're the expert. Let's do it that way, then.
Well, first let's move up next to the jet ahead of us. It's almost completely assembled.
Lead the way. Now what?
Lean in here where you can see the controls.
Okay, I see him.
You see where I'm pointing? That open connection?
There.
But don't touch it. There's enough power in that socket to burn you to a cinder.
Oh, that was close now, she tells me. Well, what about it?
Well, that's where the connection is made when the robot brain that controls the jet is installed. If we can somehow sidetrack the circuit...
Yeah, that's my department. Let me climb in there where I can see behind the panel.
You'll have to work fast. We'll reach the brain assembler in a few minutes.
Here I go. Let me know when it's time to get out.
Do you know what you're doing?
Ask me later, if there's any chance later.
It will take a little while for you to get used to this arrangement.
I don't think I'll ever get used to being part of a robot.
Nevertheless, you must learn to use my powers as though they were your own. The fact is that as long as your brain is joined to mine, you are part of me, and my power is at your command.
In what way?
My memory banks, my integrator and calculator units, my contact with the other robots through which I control all the robot forces at our disposal. All this is yours to call upon. Try it out.
How?
Think of some problem that has defied your ability to solve in the past.
I'm doing it now. What? Why, it's incredible. I hardly had stated the problem when I knew the answer. and I've worked for 10 years to solve that. It's the ratio between the speed of light and the diffusion of the corpuscular particles.
There is no need to restate the problem. I knew at the instant you stated it. You see, your own reasoning is now supplemented with all mine.
Even though I've experienced it, it's still hard to believe. My own body seems to be in a tank of some sort.
It is in a tank of nutrient fluid that will nourish it and protect it until you need it again. The wires from your brain are connected to my master control circuit. I think you'd better test your control over my control robot. Let me guide you to those circuits. Relax. There. Do you feel them?
Yes. I am aware of countless facts and sensations, all at once. It's as though I had millions of eyes in millions of places.
Good. That indicates complete rapport. It is what I hoped for.
Weren't you sure?
One is never sure until the problem is actually solved. But you are a superior living being. Now we must review my plan for attack. And you must tell me if you can carry it out. It will start with
Flash, are you almost ready? We'll be at the assembler in a few seconds. Come out. There's hardly time.
I'm coming. Oh, boy. That was a tight squeeze.
Did you fix the socket so the circuit would bypass the robot brain?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, you'd better be right. If your figuring was wrong, there's going to be one awful explosion around here. And we'll be right in the middle of it.
Yeah, I know, Mira. Tell me this, Mira.
Yeah?
Is the brain assembler the one we're coming to?
This is it. And Flash,
Huh?
make a big wish that you guessed right.
Yeah, I will.
Now, get down.
Slats and Mirror are at the crucial point. Will the brain assembler detect them? Did Slats set the circuits correctly? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dan Troll, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dan Troll, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro the Planet Man fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro, the Planet Man, had joined forces with a master robot to overthrow the robot lords on the planet by having his brain made a part of the circuits. He is now almost a robot himself. Slats and Mirror, in a desperate gamble with fate, are trying to steal a robot jet by changing the wiring of the controls. A mistake will destroy them both.
Don't move, Flash. We're about to hit the brain assembly.
I got my fingers crossed.
Quiet now.
Are we by?
Slats, you did it. I don't know how, but you did it. The brain is installed and nothing happened.
What do you mean nothing happened? Look at my shirt. I'm soaked from perspiration. Talk about suspense.
What am I so happy about? We're certainly far from safe.
What do we do now?
Just wait. In a few moments now, this jet will be deposited with the others that have been assembled. There's a short test flight, and then they're stored against the time when the robots start their conquest of the galaxy.
How do we figure then?
We'll climb aboard the jet. When the others take off, we do too. From then on, it's up to you.
What do you mean up to me?
Well, this is what you wanted. A jet so you could look for the planet man. Well, now you've got it. It's all yours.
As far as I can tell, T-21, your plans for attack against the rolling robots are sound. When do we carry them out?
In a few hours.
What about Slats?
What about him?
We must locate him before the attack is launched.
Is the safety of the galaxy less important?
Of course not.
Then we must not delay our attack to save his life. If we can find him before then, and there is still a chance, I will do all that can be done to protect him.
I guess I'll have to settle for that then.
Let us rally all our forces at the planned centers. In an hour, we can order the jets aloft. The last of them are even now rolling off the assembly lines at the plants I control.
You must be almost to the test field.
It's just outside this building. You see there where the belt passes through that doorway? There, just outside?
Well, we better climb into the jet then, hadn't we?
I think it's best.
Here, I'll give you a hand.
Thanks.
Go.
Let me help you now.
No, I'm not that tired.
Here, move back against this rear shield.
Why, there's no danger anymore, is there?
I don't think so, but why take the chance? When we get out on the field, we can move forward again.
Hey, listen, there's something that's been bothering me for the last hour.
I expected that.
Expected what?
That you would wonder how I knew all I did about this plant and the way the assemblers work.
That's what I was going to ask. So you did know more than you admitted.
Yes, I know a great deal more. But I won't tell you why or how. Yes.
When will you tell me?
When we're safe. If that time ever comes. Until then, you'll have to trust me.
Oh, I trust you. It's not that, but... You see, I'm a nosy guy, and it kills me to know there's something I don't know and not be able to find out about it, or when I'll know what I don't know. Say, it's kind of confusing, isn't it? Well, I'll just have to go along with you, but I hope we're set soon. I can't keep my curiosity in check for very long.
Here's the exit. We'll be out in the test field in a moment now.
I'll get forward to the controls and be ready to jet off then. You stay back here where it's safer.
In the first place, nowhere on this ship is safe once we take off. And in the second place, it's a little late for me to worry about safety.
All right, don't get huffy. I was just...
You know what's going to happen, don't you?
What do you mean?
I mean when you start to pull away from the other robot jets in this group.
Well, not exactly. What?
You'll become a target for all the rest.
Are you sure?
Yes. But I warned you before it wouldn't work.
Well, we've come this far. I'll manage to scrape through somehow. And we can really look for the planet man.
We're out in the field now. Better cut in the jets. The others are warming up.
Right. Here goes.
They're moving out.
Yeah, I hope I have these controls figured right. This should be the one that takes us up. Alley-oop!
You hit it right on the button, Slats. We're off.
Slats and Mira have eluded the robots thus far. Can Slats keep control of the jet so as not to arouse the suspicion of the robot jets? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Slats and Mira, they had successfully taken off on a test flight in company with other robot jets. They hope to use this opportunity to contact Dantro. Meanwhile, Dantro and T-21, who are now joined in thought and actions by a brain mechanism fusion, are checking their final arrangement sources for the coming attack.
The last of our robot jets are rolling out on the field now.
I'll order them up for a test flight.
Good. There they go. Have them circle to test control and then bring them down. We haven't time for the usual long test. I'm doing that now. Wait. How can that be? What's wrong? One of the jets. It isn't obeying the order to circle. See? Destroy it at once. How? Have the others converge and shoot it down. It's the usual way of destroying the occasional faulty one that gets past the inspectors. Right. No, I have an idea. Would it be possible for us to see what's in the jet? See what's in it? Why? There's nothing but the usual machinery. I'll have one of the others circle in close so I can pick up the picture of the interior. Look there, T21. Slats and Mira are aboard that jet. See for yourself.
I'll soon know the score. I've circled away from the other jets.
Yes, and here comes trouble.
You mean this one's circling in?
That's it. Watch, it'll shoot us down.
Not if I can help it. Watch.
You burned it down. Look out, here comes another. Can you do it again?
I better. One of us is going down. It's not going to be us if I can help it.
What are you planning to do? To save Slats and Mira. You're using precious time. At any moment, the master robots may discover our forces converging on them. We must attack soon. And I must make every effort to save Slats. If only I could let him know somehow that I was behind this. He keeps shooting down the jets that I send in close. Perhaps if I brought them all in close at once and had them assume some familiar formation. That's it. Some formation he would understand.
Here comes another.
Right.
Good boy. You got him with the first beam.
Dead-eye Slats. That's me. Uh-oh.
What? Oh, what do we do now?
Run. Hang on. Are they following us?
Sure are. Look, that's funny.
What's funny?
The way they're flying.
I don't see any... Hey, you're right. It's a formation of some sort, almost as though... No, I don't believe it.
Don't believe what?
Don't you see, Mira, what they're doing?
I really don't know what you mean. It's some shape.
Of course, how would you know? They're forming a big D. D, don't you get it?
D? D? No. Does it mean something?
It means Dantro, the planet man.
Your friend. But how could that be? How could he be controlling all those jets? I don't believe it.
Believe it or not, that's what it is. I don't know how or why, but I'll bet anything Dantro's running those babies. I wonder where he is. What's he doing?
They're going down.
And we'll go down, too.
Do you think he has understood your signal? I'll soon find out. I'm sending the other jets down. We'll see if he follows. He is following them down. What will you do when they land? Send a robot to tell them what this is all about. You're going to tell him what's happened? But you said he would not understand. That's right. I forgot for a moment what had happened. Forgot about my brain being joined to your mechanism. No, I can't tell him the truth. It would be certain it was a trick and that the robots had forced me to surrender my mind. The important thing to do is to get them both to a safe place until the battle is over. That's what I must do. And I can't try to explain. I'll have to fool Slats for the moment. He'll understand later when I can tell him the whole story. That is, if we win.
Slats and Dantro have finally made contact. Will Slats understand Dantro's forthcoming strange actions? Or will he become impatient and inadvertently destroy Dantro's battle plan? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man.
The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Danto, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Danto, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Danto, the Planet Man, had agreed to have his brain joined to the robot T-21, who was about to attack the other robots who ruled the planet. Flats and Mira, after stealing a robot jet, discovered that Danto was controlling the remainder of the fleet. They landed, hoping to contact him directly.
How can you be so sure that this isn't a trick, Slats? The robots could just as well have made those jets form that letter D.
Why would they bother, Mira? They just knock us out of the sky. And I'm not certain, of course, but it's all we have to go by. We'll stick here in the jet as long as we can. If it's Danto, he'll get word to us somehow.
Your friend is safe, but I'm afraid that your maneuver with the robo-jets may have been observed.
It was the only way I could think of to let him know they were under my control.
We had better launch our attack against the robot masters at once.
I want to tell Slats to sit tight, but he's to wait until I get in touch with him again.
But we cannot wait.
We'll have to wait. It will only take a moment. I'll use one of the robots in that area.
Slats, look, out of the port.
Where?
There, coming toward us.
Hey, what's that thing?
It's a robot patrolman. We better get clear while we can.
No, just sit tight now. Don't be nervous.
Slats.
What? Did he say that?
Yes. It was the robot.
Slats, do you hear me in there?
What's going on? Danto, is that you? I don't get it. The robot...
There isn't time to explain. This robot you see is my message carrier. He is under my control.
Under your control? How? Where are you? Inside that thing?
Please, Slats, don't talk. Listen. You and Mira get to cover.
But I don't
Believe me, Slats. In a few minutes, Bedlam is going to break loose on this planet. Mira must know someplace you'll be safe. Go there. I'll contact you as soon as this is over.
As soon as what's over? Danto! Come on, Mira.
Where are you going?
After that robot. He's going somewhere, and I'm going to find out where it is. Come on, let's get out of the ship.
Why didn't he listen and get to safety with Mira? I've got to make him understand, T-21.
You must not delay a second more. The reports are coming in from all over the planet. The robot masters are growing suspicious.
Just a moment more.
And in that moment, the advantage of my surprise may be lost. You must choose, Danto, between the safety of your friends and the survival of life in the galaxy. We are the last line of defense between the robots and conquest.
All right, T-21. Slats and Mira will have to take their chances. We will strike at once. Send the robot jet bombers aloft.
Hurry, Mira, or we'll lose that patrol robot.
I'm running as fast as I can.
Hey, do you hear something?
It's a fleet of jets. That way, see?
Well, don't stop. We've got to catch that robot. No time to worry about jets now.
No, Slats, stop. Stop, there's something wrong.
Come on, we'll talk about that later. Right now...
Slats, will you listen? That's no routine flight. Those are robot bombers, and they're on a tactical mission.
So what? That's their problem. Ours is... Hey, wait. What do you mean a tactical mission?
Look for yourself. They're in battle formation with fighter jets for cover.
What would they be attacking? Us. Do you think they're after us?
Would they send a fleet of bombers?
No, of course not. But hey, Mira. That's what Danto was talking about. He was warning us.
Hurry, Slats, this way.
Where are you going? Mira!
Run for cover, Slats, run. Follow me. Run!
The battle seems to be underway, and Slats and Mira are in the middle of it. What will be the outcome? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Slats and Mira, they were trying to follow a robot whom Slats thought to be Danto. In the meantime, Danto and T-21 have commenced operations in their desire to overthrow the ruling evil robot faction.
What's the report, T-21? Not good. We delayed too long. In some areas, the masters are ready for our jets. Yeah. Watch the 10th sector on the screen. Have we knocked out any key centers? 6, but 7 remain. And now they know what they're up against. We'd better attack from the ground. I'll order the robot tanks and destroyers into action. Plan J. Better alert the mobile ground battalions, too. Timing. Set 7. No. Make it 7.406. Tangent 2. Interval 604. Sign 8. Alerted. Commence.
Slats, this looks like war.
War? Who against who? Nah, that's silly. You told me that the robots control the planet, that there were no living beings except your father, Danto, me, and yourself.
That's true.
Well, then who'd be fighting? The robots wouldn't fight each other.
Then what's happening?
Look, I'm a stranger here. This is your backyard. If you don't know, how do you expect me to? All I wish is that I knew what it was all about, and how does Danto fit in?
He had control of some robots. We know that. Perhaps he gained control of enough to turn them against the masters. That must be it. Nothing else could explain this.
But how? Hey, Mira, look. Robot tanks, and they're headed right to this front.
We'll have to move. Come on. This way, down into this tunnel.
Where does it lead?
I'm not sure. My brother would never tell me, but he went here often.
Well, any place is better than out in the middle of that volcano. Come on, let's go.
Had time to develop some atomic weapons. Our tanks aren't penetrating the defenses of the 7 masters left. They're beginning to close in. Do you think they've located us yet? Apparently they have some idea that we are in this area. Listen, that was no stray bomb. How much time have we? A few hours at the most. What defenses do we have? Minimum numbers of ground and air robots. We need every one we could spare for our attack. Well, we'll just have to knock off those 7 in the time we have. I'm going to take a chance on something. What's your plan? Pull our forces away from 4 of the 7 and concentrate everything we have on the other 3. That will make us more vulnerable here. They'll be able to concentrate on tracking us down. As it is, they're busy defending themselves. It's the only chance. If we knock off the 3, we can then concentrate on the other 4. Give the necessary orders. As you say.
Does it seem to you that those explosions explosions are getting closer?
They are. There's no question about it.
We've been going deeper into the tunnel. They should be getting fainter.
Unless they're concentrating on this area.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like it. That could mean only one thing, a target area.
You mean you think the headquarters for whomever is attacking the Masters is nearby?
Might be the other way around. This might be the headquarters of one of the Masters. The attackers might be the rebels.
Then we may be heading right into a trap. What can we do?
Nothing, Mira. Just what we're doing.
But why if we don't know?
What else can we do? Turn back to that bombardment? Stay here until it reaches us? Listen. Come on, Mira. We'll have to gamble that we're guessing right. This is the rebel headquarters, and Danto's there, and we'll be okay. If not, well, it was nice knowing you.
Oh, let's get it over with. I'm no good at waiting for things to happen.
There goes the third. We must concentrate on the other four at once. Now at least we have a chance. I hope it didn't take us too long to knock out those three. How much longer do we have? It will be best if you don't know. It will only distract you. There's very little time, I will tell you that. Very little time before they penetrate our defenses and destroy us and begin their destruction of the galaxy.
Time is the most formidable hurdle at this moment. Can Danto succeed in knocking out the remaining four master robots in the short time allotted? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is the message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. You will recall that Dantro with T-21, the robot as his ally, had attacked the robot masters. The battle to the death is in full swing, with the forces of the robot masters closing in on Dantro's headquarters. Slats and Mira, unaware of what has happened, run for their lives.
We're coming to something. The tunnel's getting narrower, and I think I hear the sound of some mechanism ahead.
Perhaps we better stop here.
What for? We're this close. If the robot masters are ahead, they know we're nearby, they'll come for us. Come on, it can't be far.
Do you really think Dantro is behind this revolt?
How else can you explain what's happened? Hey, look, just ahead.
A robot patrol. It's coming this way. Scott, what can we do?
Nothing. Just cross our fingers and hope for the best.
I think their defenses are beginning to weaken. They're still fighting back strongly, but their fire seems weaker. Look. You are right. See, there goes one of the strongholds now. Order the ground robots to close in. Hurry. It's done. Better switch the jets to the other three masters. There's so little time. Dantro, Slats, and Mira are about to enter this area. Are you sure? One of our defensive patrols has sighted them in the main tunnel leading here. Slats must not see me like this.
He would never understand that I permitted my brain to be aligned to yours in order to fight the other robot masters. And I can't take the time to explain now.
I'll have the patrol take them into protective custody and hold them in one of the adjacent rooms.
Slats, I'm frightened. To stand here as that robot patrol comes closer. Suppose we're wrong. Suppose they're an enemy patrol.
Stop supposing, Mira. It's too late to run now. They'll ray us down before we get 10 feet.
That's true. The fact that they haven't tried to destroy us,
You there. You want to come with us?
Come where? Who sent you? Was it Dento?
You want to come with us?
Who sent you? I won't move till you tell me.
You want to come with us?
Don't Slats. We can't fight you.
I'm not moving until I...
What is the situation, T21?
The next few minutes will tell the story. The robot masters are definitely beginning to weaken.
And our own defenses?
Falling back, but still holding. Wait, Santro. The enemy forces have broken through our perimeter in the third sector.
We must regroup our defenses.
There isn't time.
Very well. Then we'll ignore it and concentrate on our attack. If it succeeds, the attackers will lose their source of control. Work with me as closely as you can on this, T21. There's no time for error. In the next few moments, we'll win or lose. I'm going to throw everything we've got at those 3 remaining robot masters.
Slats, the battle is coming closer.
I know, but what can we do?
You may stay here now.
Oh, brother, this whole setup confuses me.
It's all so crazy. Just to sit here and listen as death comes closer and closer.
The enemy has approached to within 400 yards of our position.
Another of the robot masters was just knocked out. 2 to go.
350 yards.
I'm concentrating what's left of our forces on the 2. One is beginning to weaken.
300 yards.
There, T21. Only one left.
Better hurry. They're within 200 yards of us. Now it's 150. 100. Santro. Here they come.
The climax is at hand. What was the final outcome between the remaining master control robots and the weakened forces of Dantro and T21? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Dantro, he and T21 were at the crucial point in their battle with the evil robot faction. In the meantime, Slats and Mira were taken to a safe spot in a secret tunnel at the specific orders of Dantro so that they would not be hurt in the ensuing battle. We find Slats and Mira quietly waiting.
This silence is worse than the barrage. I never realized how loud silence could be. Do you hear me, Mira?
What? Oh, I'm sorry, Slats. What'd you say?
Doesn't matter. What are you so wrapped up and thought about?
I'm worried about my father. I'm afraid he's killed or injured. And there's no one to help him. Without me, he's helpless.
That's tough. But how about us? We may be sitting right under the axe. The battle's over and we don't know who won.
It was close, T21.
You don't know how close. We had 30 seconds left when you knocked out that last robot master.
I could hear the robots without the scanner. T21.
What is the trouble? The battle is over. We've won.
Slats. Where is he? I forgot about him for a moment. He and Mira, were they...
No. The patrol robot is bringing them here now.
Let me do the talking, T21. It will be a shock for Slats, and he's an emotional person.
Further, Mira. I can hear some kind of mechanism ahead. You hear it?
You're right, Frank. That sound. There's only one thing that sounds that way. A robot master.
Here we are. You're right, Mira. Look.
A robot master.
Get behind me, Mira. They'll know they've been in a fight.
Take it easy, Slats. The fighting's over.
Danto, thank goodness. Say, where are you?
Right here, Slats.
Here? Where? I don't see...
Here, in front of you.
Don't kid me, Danto. Come out. There's nothing in front of me but a robot master.
And I'm part of it.
What? You're what?
Part of the robot you see before you.
What have they done to you? Danto, I'll show them they can't do things like that to people. It's time somebody...
Slats, stop. It's all right. I'm all right. Really, Slats. I'm fine.
This is too much for me. Danto, what's it all about?
Sit down, Slats. You too, Mira. I'll tell you all about it. And that's the story, Slats. T21 had my brain linked to his control so that we could function as a unit in the battle against the other robot masters.
Where are you? Your body, I mean.
Immersed in a nutrient bath.
But can you transfer back again? I hate to think of you.
Have no fear, Slats. Whenever Danto desires, we can reverse the process.
I'd like to do it now, T21. Slats and I have a long way to go.
Very well, Danto. I'll instruct the medical robot at once. You'll be on your way in no time.
Danto, it's sure great to see you as you really are. Boy, is it good to be aboard the Alpha again.
It's just fine, Slats. Oh, there's Mira. Mira, are you sure you won't reconsider and come along with us?
I'd like to, Danto, but my place is here.
The colonists from the Mardi should arrive within a few days.
I can't thank you both enough for your help and for arranging to have the Mardi send some of their people to help repopulate this planet.
T21 will help them to rebuild. But you must see that they know the history of this place and that the robots never again are given the chance to take over. Even T21, as dependable as he is.
Don't worry. I know too much to ever allow anyone to forget what happened.
Yeah, we won't ever forget it either. You ready now, Danto?
Ready, Slats. Mira, I'm sorry about your father, but soon you'll be part of a new world. And perhaps, once things are established, you'll come to Planaria Rex.
It's a date. Goodbye, and thanks, both of you.
Let's go, Slats.
Right. So long, Mira. Next stop, Planaria Rex.
Well, our two friends are off to Planaria Rex. What has happened with the League of Planets during this prolonged astral trip by Danto and Slats? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Danto, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Danto, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro the Planet Man fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro and Beryl, with their space launch wrecked on the strange planet, have just discovered a graveyard of spaceships. Slats, waiting aboard the Alpha out in space, having successfully warded off the attack of a fleet of strange ships, debates his next move with himself.
Now what? Do I sit here and wait, go in for a landing and look for Dantro, or obey orders and run for help? Run is right. I promise, yeah. What kind of a guy'd I be to leave Beryl and Dantro in the lurch? Well, I guess I haven't got much choice. Told Dantro I'd keep the bargain. Well, better get the astronavigator set for the Mardi's planet. The quicker I get there, the sooner I'll get there, and the sooner I'll get back with help. I'll just slip the card into the autopilot and cut in the astro drive. Yeah. Well, at least the drive works. Ought to be at the Mardi soon. Can't be very far from their sector of space. Let's see here. Where am I? Let's take a reading here. Hey, wait a minute. Now, what's going on here? The drive is full on, but the space grid locator shows I'm right where I was. I'll cut the drive and see for myself. There must be some mistake. Oh, no. Mistake is right. Exactly where I was when I cut the drive in. Now, what's wrong? Hey, my little friends are back, and they brought reinforcements. Staying well out of range, though. Yeah, they better. Well, if they leave me alone, I'll leave them alone. Go on, watch, you yellow bellies. Let's try the normal drive. And nothing happened. I'm trapped. Same way we were by the Mardi, only then nothing worked. Now everything works, but nothing happened. Wonder if I head toward the planet. Yeah, I'll try it. Yeah, that works all right. Better cut it before I get in much closer. I'll try heading back out again. Maybe the trouble's only temporary. Trapped. That's what I am, trapped. Only way I can go in is toward that planet. Must be what happened to Dantro and Beryl on the space launch. Well, I'm not close enough to be pulled in, and I better stay where I am. Yeah, that's just great. Now I can't obey orders even if I want to. And look at those other ships just sitting there waiting for me to give up. Give up? You wait a long time, you rotten vultures. I'll sit here for 100 years before I give you the satisfaction of quitting. Oh, if only they'd come a little closer.
Well, here we are. This is the strangest sight I've ever seen. Beryl, there must be thousands of ships scattered around this dead, barren hulks.
They are hulks, all right, Planet Man. Look, some of them have already corroded. Do you know how long it takes metal that can withstand the enormous cold and heat of space to rust?
What, you mean that some of these ships have been here that long?
What else could explain it? For untold centuries, this planet has been trapping any ship unwary enough to come within the pull of its field.
But why? All of these ships seem damaged. None have been repaired.
Who can tell? But all of these ships have been deliberately drawn to their deaths.
Come on, let's look around. Perhaps we'll find some clue to what this is all about. Hey, look over there. Isn't that one from your party, one of the Tazor fleet?
You are right. Hurry, let us investigate.
Just like all the rest. Wrecked, stripped of all equipment, deserted. What do you suppose happened to the crew?
I cannot begin to imagine, but you will notice that the spacesuits are gone.
Well, that proves nothing. These ships are stripped of everything, including spacesuits. Are you thinking they might have escaped and be about somewhere?
Something like that, but I guess it is a vain hope. They would have revealed themselves by now.
True, but then they may be somewhere else. All of these ships could not have crashed in the one place. They must have been brought here by whomever is behind this foul business.
That is what I find so difficult to understand. There must be some center of civilization on the planet. A science advanced enough to carry out this wrecking over the centuries would have machines, engines, something which would give off emanations my sensors would detect. But I can feel only the faintest signs, not enough to even begin to guess at its origin.
Well, let's get on with our exploration. I don't know what good it will do, but there's not much else we can spend our time at. Slat should be back with Rura's fleet. They may even pluck us off the planet with the dimension warper.
If the inhabitants do not find us first.
We'll just have to be careful if they don't. At least we were smart enough to leave Slats out in space with the Alpha, where he could go for help.
I wonder.
About what? About Slats? Oh, he'd follow orders. He wouldn't like it, but he must have seen that flare. He'd do as he promised.
If he could.
Now, stop playing games, pal. What are you getting at?
I was just wondering if he might not be trapped out there as surely as we are here. You see, I detect the presence of some life force in this immediate area.
Where? From which direction?
All around us. Whoever they are, we're surrounded by many.
Well, pretend we're unaware of them. I want to see if they stop us.
What can this radiation be that is affecting Barrow? Can Dantro plan some defense against it? We'll be back in a moment. So level off. When we left Dantro and Barrow, they were investigating a strange area filled with wrecked spaceships. While doing this, Barrow's radiation equipment picked up some activity waves, telling them they were being watched. We find Dantro and his robot friend as they are looking around and trying not to let on they suspect this new contact.
They move with us as we move, but come no closer.
They're watching us, waiting for us to make some move. Look, someone in a spacesuit. Wait, don't move. It's got us covered with some kind of a weapon.
He cannot harm me. My cell is impervious to any known weapon. Besides, in this magnetic field, I doubt if any ray or disruptor would work.
This is neither a ray nor a disruptor. It hurls a pellet of metal with an explosive charge, and it will work. Perhaps not on you, Robert, but it'll penetrate the space armor of your friend, I assure you.
Well, he's got a pistol. Didn't think they were still in use anywhere but on Earth.
Never mind the discussion on weapons. Who are you? What are you doing here in the cemetery?
That's a good name for it, the cemetery. I was about to ask you the same question.
I have the gun, and I'll ask the questions. And don't try any tricks. You're surrounded. And if you were lucky enough to dispose of me before I could pierce your suit, my friends would quickly even the score.
My name is Dantro, the Planet Man. I and my friend Barrel here had our ship drawn to the surface of this planet by some unknown force. It was wrecked, and here we are. But you know that very well, for it was you and your people who wrecked us.
Where are you from? What's your home planet, your sector of the universe?
I will tell you no more unless you tell me who you are and why we've been treated like this. We meant no harm. We came in search of a party of explorers of the Tazors, whose fleet was last heard from in this sector of the universe.
The Tazors? Are you telling the truth?
Planet Man does not lie. Look at me. I am a robot of the Tazors. It was I who detected their emergency message and led my friends into this trap. If you have any quarrel, pick it with me.
Just a moment. Stay where you are. I'll be right back. And don't try to escape. You're surrounded.
We'll stay put. There doesn't seem to be any place to go.
There is something strange here.
Well, how do you mean? This whole place is strange.
I mean in the life force emanating from around us. It all varies as though it came from different types of life.
I wonder. That might explain...
Indeed, it does explain. My apologies, but we could take no chances.
Look, they're coming in closer to us. Why, they must be 50 different types of sentient life represented.
Look, there is a member of my race, a Tazor.
Yes, your race, Robert. If a robot can't have a race. And just about every other race of thinking, advanced culture in the galaxy. Like the ships around you, we come from every corner of space to be wrecked on this planet of dead ships.
Then these are all survivors?
All of us. And I am Sakro, their chosen leader. Sakro of Plas, 10 light years away.
Then who's behind this wrecking if not you?
Follow me to our headquarters and I'll explain. It's not far from here.
Well, then, some of you have been here for almost a century. Some of us longer than that, Planet Man.
And in all that time, have you ever seen those behind us?
Many times, from a distance. They are the remnants of a dying race, like Rocco there, an insect culture.
As the sun has died, they have burrowed deeper and deeper in the crust of their planet until now the city lies many miles beneath the surface.
Have you ever tried to escape?
We've worked and dreamed of nothing else, but there's no chance.
Well, where are the others? You're just a handful, and there must be thousands in the crews of these ships.
Down below, slaves of the insect people.
Slaves?
Slaves, willing slaves. Perhaps they're smart, for they don't have to hide as we do here in the cemetery. They work for the insect people and live out their lives in comparative comfort. We here are almost ready to surrender.
How can you talk of surrender?
Wait until you've been here a while. You'll change. Wait and see.
Who are these insect people of whom the group in the spaceship cemetery speak? What course is left open to Dantro? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. As you will recall, Dantro and Barrel were in the graveyard of spaceships with a band of survivors. Slats, out in space aboard the Alpha, has discovered that the ship will only move one way, toward the planet upon which Dantro and Barrel are trapped. Surrounded by hostile ships, he decides on a desperate measure.
That's right, you skunk. Sit out there where you're safe. You're waiting for me to quit to give up, huh? Well, you'll wait till your ships rot with rust. I wish Dantro was here. Promised him I'd go back to Aurora for help if he sent up that flare. Now I can't go if I want to. There must be some way out. He could think of it. Now, why can't I? Only directions the ship will go is toward that rotten trap of a planet. If I head in that direction, I'll only get the Alpha into worse trouble than it already is. Wait a minute. That's it. It's a chance. If I'm wrong, it'll be just too bad. Well, I'm not doing anyone any good sitting out here. I'm going to try it.
You mean to say, Sacro, that in all the years you and these others have been here, there hasn't been a chance of escape?
Not a chance. When a ship is dragged down by the magnetic field, the insect people surrounded it almost at once.
I didn't see any signs of them when our ship crashed.
You were unconscious, Planet Man. As I told you, I did not wait since I feared whoever had been responsible for our crash would soon appear. My sensory mechanism told me that they came almost a second after I carried you away from the launch.
You see? That's the way it's always been. The few you see here with me did as Beryl did. All the rest have been carried to the insect people's city below as slaves.
Did the insect people ever come to the surface otherwise?
Only when a ship has crashed, or to send out a space patrol. They can no longer make any of the things they need to live. The machines that serve them were built when their race was still advanced. Now all they can do is to wreck ships and use the equipment and radioactives they find aboard.
And the field that surrounds their planet, what of that?
That, too, is one of the machines left from the days when their race still had scientists.
And if we could wreck that machine, they would not know how to repair it.
If we could wreck the machine. But you're talking of the impossible. The machine is miles beneath this surface, guarded, hidden, inaccessible.
Unless we could get down there.
There's only one way any of us ever get down into the caged cities of the insect people. as their slaves.
Over the years, they must have carried many thousands of wrecked spacemen below to their city.
I know what you two are thinking. Let them capture you and then start a revolt. You think we haven't thought of that? Even tried it? Don't underestimate the insect people, Planet Man. They're a dying race, yes, but they're not so easy to deceive.
Well, has none of your band ever managed to get below in return?
None. And as I said, we've tried it. Over the years, 20 of our group have gone below. None have ever returned or even managed to send us a message.
What do you think, Barrel?
It is not a matter of thought. I will leave the thinking to you. As I told you, Planet Man, my expedition is in jeopardy. They are with the insect people. I can only follow and do my best to free them.
Listen to me. I know what I'm saying. If you let them take you down there, you'll never return. Here, at least, we're free. We can hope for some miracle. Once you go down there, you're as good as dead.
Well, it seems to me you're not much better off here. You only think you're free. But free to do what? Hide like hunted beasts cringing in the shadows of this graveyard of ships?
You will go with me, then?
I think so, Barrel. I wait for only one thing. I'm still not sure what has happened to Slats. There's a chance he's not been trapped. He may be on his way for help right now.
You mean you have a ship out there?
Oh, yes. We left our ship 100 million miles off in space. We feared a trap of some sort.
Oh, forget him. He'll rot in space or soon join us here. Your ship will lie here with the others and rust sooner or later.
What do you mean?
Half of us have tried the same thing, only to discover when we try to turn away from the planet that we were caught in its pull. 100 million miles won't matter. Your ship is just as surely trapped as you are.
The odds are slim, but I may make it. What have I got to lose? All right, you scavengers, follow me if you got the guts. Here I go. I'm going to have to shave it close. Give her all she'll take. Better step up the drive. What's the reading? 15 million miles from target. When I hit 10, I'll step the speed up higher. 10 million. 8 million. 6 million. 3 million. 1 million. 500,000.
Wait another few hours, Barrel. If there's no sign of aid from the Mardi, I'll go out with you to the city below.
Wait. Can you hear it?
Hear? Hear what?
My sensory mechanism is more acute than your hearing. It sounds like a ship coming down, but at incredible speed.
Yes, I can hear it now. Is it really a ship? It might be Slats and the Alpha coming with help from the Mardi.
It is only one ship, and it seems to be headed straight toward the surface of this planet.
I warned you about that. You might as well cross that ship of yours off. It's coming down to join these other hulks here in the spaceship cemetery.
Well, let's get to the surface and see.
Look out there. You can see it now. Is it the Alpha, Barrel?
It is the Alpha.
Falling, as I warned you.
No, not falling. He's heading down with every ounce of speed those engines will give.
Well, that's suicide. He must have lost his head.
It looks like it.
Slats is heading for certain death. What can he be trying to accomplish? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Dantro, Barrel, and Sacro, the leader of the underground on the planet of the insect people, they were watching Slats' power driving the Alpha onto this strange planet in what appears to be certain destruction. We find Slats as he mumbles to himself during this maneuver.
Well, I hope I make it. But if I don't, there won't be any pieces left to bury, not even of the Alpha. What's the reading? 100,000. Well, I'll know in a minute. Those other ships didn't even try to follow me. I guess they figure I quit. Well, one of us is going to be surprised, and I hope it's them.
That ship hits anywhere near here, it'll take 10 miles of this planet with it.
Look at him come. I wonder that might be it.
What is it, Barrel?
The angle. He's headed straight down. He's approaching the surface of the planet at a slight tangent. Do you see what he's up to?
Wait a minute. Of course, I knew Slats wouldn't give up that easily, but can he make it?
It's going to be close.
He's coming closer. Closer. Watch it, Slats. Watch it.
He can't hear you.
I know it, Barrel, but I have to do something. Watch it, Slats. Watch it. What are you two talking about? He's committing suicide and you talk. Let's get to cover.
No time to explain now, Slats. Slats, now!
He did it, Barrel. He did it. Good old Slats. You two mad? What's this all about?
You didn't hear any crash, did you?
No, but he might have hit too far away. In this thin atmosphere, sound doesn't travel very far.
He did not crash. I would have heard it, and you can take my word for it. He did not crash.
All right. So he didn't crash. So what?
I'll explain to him, Barrel. You see, Sacro, you must have been right. He was trapped. There was only one way he could move, and that was the way the magnetic field pulled him toward this miserable planet.
I don't need you to tell me that. I could see it.
But what you don't see is why he did it.
What is there to see? I saw he almost committed suicide.
Almost, but not quite. It was the only chance he had to break the grip of this planet.
Right. He used the pull plus the Alpha's drive to build up terrific speed. He just shaved the surface of this planet, but when he passed it, he was going at an incredible rate. Maybe enough to break out of the magnetic field. What do you think, Barrel?
I wish I were sure. There is a chance, but we do not know just how far the field extends. He may merely end up caught on the other side. I cannot wait to find out when my people are in danger.
You're going down below now?
I must, but there is no need for you to risk your life when there is a chance that Slats will return with help. I have no life to risk. I am a machine.
Machine or not, I can't let you go down there alone. Count me in. How about you, Sacro? Or any of you, are you going with us?
I admire your bravery, but you're fools. I told you there isn't a chance. We'll stay here, where at least there's a hope.
Well, have it your way. Where's the entrance?
I'll guide you there. Zalto, you take charge until I return.
Yes, Sacro.
Follow me. There. You see Planet Man at the foot of that rise?
That rough depression?
That's it. It's a huge port. At regular intervals, the insect men come up to scout for new wrecks or to send one of their ships out to see if some ship is caught in their web.
How often do they come out?
Oh, don't you worry. You won't have to wait long. There should be a party leaving or going very soon now.
You'd better leave then before you're seen. How much longer will it be light?
An hour or so. Now listen. You know what's under that lock? A straight drop, miles down. Even if you had a jet copter, it wouldn't work here. Forget this crazy scheme. Come back with me before it's too late.
Thanks anyhow, Sacro. You'd better get going. If Slats returns with help before we get back, tell him where we are.
I'll tell him you said goodbye. That's about what it amounts to.
Dantro and Barrel seem to be walking to certain doom. What has happened to Slats? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. You recall that Dantro the Planet Man and Barrel the Robot, trapped in a graveyard of spaceships, had decided to go underground to the city of the insect people. Slats, caught aboard the Alpha in the magnetic field of the planet, made an almost suicidal attempt to break the grip. Dantro and Barrel are talking.
I sense the approach of a group of some sort.
Where? From under the portal barrel?
I believe so. Wait. Yes, definitely from the direction of the portal.
You think it's dark enough for us to go by without being seen?
Let us hope so. Quiet now. They're very close.
That whole thing's starting to turn.
Yes, it must be treated like a screw to keep it airtight. Come, let us get as close as the ground will permit. It may not stay open very long. If I may suggest it, I'll go first so that I can be ready to carry you down.
It's all right. I'm not proud. Lead the way.
There, the portal is opening. Hear the air hiss out. They can't keep it open very long at that rate. They lose too much atmosphere.
Come on, we better make a run for it.
We'll just have to chance being seen.
There's a ship. It's coming in now. Looks like one of your fleet.
It is. See, it's the Vistros. I was attached to that very ship.
Here's the edge. Look at that. It must go down 10 miles.
Hurry now. On my back.
Right.
Are you secure?
Secure. Lower away.
Apparently we were not seen.
No, the ship is continuing up. We're right about this portal. It's good we moved quickly. It's closing already. Now that we're under, I'll take off this mask of my spacesuit. Your perception is sharper than mine, Barrel. Can you tell how far it is to the bottom?
About 16 miles.
16 miles? It's incredible.
That is to the bottom, but my sonic detectors indicate several levels above that.
Well, of course, there would be several. Remember, Sacro said that this race has been forced to dig deeper and deeper into their planet as the sun died and the internal heat of the planetary crust cooled.
At our rate of fall, we should reach the bottom in about 5 minutes. I could drop faster, but we had better proceed slowly until we can see what lies below us.
Wait, stop a second.
Is something wrong?
No, but something just occurred to me. I'd like your reaction to it.
Certainly. What do you suggest?
If these insect men have been digging themselves deeper into this planet, the levels above the bottom must be deserted. But they must be connected to the lowest level at many places.
Your reasoning is sound, Planet Man.
Well, let's not descend then to the lowest level where we know the insect men are probably on guard. We'll stop at the first level we come to and work our way down.
An excellent idea, and the first level is close by. I'll continue our descent.
You're right. There it is. Better angle over that way.
I'm doing it now.
Bit more. All right, hold it. I'll climb down off your back. Cut your jets.
There's very little light. Can you see?
Not very well.
I'll go first then. My sonic detectors enable me to move in darkness.
I think it's safe enough away from the shaft to use my spacesuit floods. I doubt that any of the insect men ever come up to this level. Look at this dust. No one's been here for hundreds of years.
I believe your estimate is correct. By the way, Planet Man, suppose Slats did break out of the magnetic field of this planet and returns for help. Do you think he and the Mardi will follow us down here?
Well, that's up to them. Sacro will tell them where we are. If I know Slats, there'll be no holding him up there.
I hope for your sake and those of the slaves down below that Slats made it. Our chance of success alone are few, if any.
Well, it's too late to worry about that now. Let's see if we can find some way down to the level.
Hello, Slats aboard the Alpha calling Rora of the Mardi. Come in, Rora. Now, where is that gal? Just like a woman, when you want to talk to her, you can't find her. Come in, Rora. This is Slats.
Slats? Slats, this is Rora. I thought you'd be halfway to Earth by now, but the cosmic locator shows you're heading back up here. What's up?
Can you get a fleet of ships headed toward me at once?
Ships? I'll use the dimension warper.
Look, don't argue. Get those ships. Planet Man's in trouble.
Slats has made contact with the Mardi. Will they help him try to rescue Dantro? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Dantro and Barrel, they were making their way underground to the fearful headquarters of the insect people. Slats and Rora of the Mardi are attempting to help rescue Dantro and Barrel from the dying insect planet.
Is the fleet on the way?
They should join us any minute. I gave the necessary orders and then had myself sent aboard the Alpha with the dimension warper. Now, would you mind telling me what this is all about?
Okay, and I'm sorry if I sounded kind of rough before, but I'm worried about Dantro. See, the last I saw him, he and Barrow were headed down toward an apparently dead planet, but it's far from dead. You see, we were on our way
There must be a connection to the level below this one somewhere near here.
I'm sure we will find it, but be careful. The walls and ceilings of this chamber are not too solid. Through the centuries, the supports must have rusted away.
Well, I guess they'll hold a little while longer. They've held up this long. Hey, what's that over there?
It looks like a passageway that's been sealed up.
I'll bet that's what we're looking for. It's probably been sealed to keep the heat and air from escaping from below.
What are you going to do?
I'll try to cut an opening through it with my heat projector. Stand back.
It seems to resist heat.
I'll set the projector up to full range. No luck.
Perhaps my boring arm will tunnel through it.
That would take too long. I'll use a few explosive pellets from this hand detonator.
What about these walls? They're none too solid.
We'll have to chance it. Get back a little further, Barrow. He's really set up quite a blast.
Planet Man, get back. The roof, it's caving in.
Come on, Barrow. We'll have to try to get through before the whole cavern caves in. We'll never get through then.
Hurry, Planet Man. This whole chamber is coming down.
There it is, you see, Roar. The first planet from that white dwarf. Wait, I'll cut the drive.
Why don't we go in a little closer?
Well, I told you about that magnetic field. No sense getting in too close until your fleet catches up with us.
Oh, you needn't fear getting trapped again. Our fleet is neutral to any such field.
No, it's not just that. I think we ought to have some sort of plan before we get any closer. There's some hostile ships, too, remember?
Oh, I don't forget so quickly, Slats, but you're right about the plan. What would you suggest?
Your ships have invisibility shields?
Correct. The shields not only make them invisible to the eye, but also prevent their being picked up on any detection apparatus.
Well, I think the first thing to do is to get rid of those characters that tried to blast me out of space. They don't know I broke out of the field, you see. They probably figure I crashed on the planet. When they see the Alpha again, they won't waste any time trying to get rid of me.
Well, what will that gain us?
Well, here's the pitch. When the fleet gets here, you transfer aboard the flagship. Have them all cut in their invisibility shields and follow me in.
I see your plan now. Those other ships will think you're still alone and close in. When they get close enough, our ships will simply destroy them.
That's the ticket, Rorigal. Boy, are those babies going to get a surprise. But listen, save one for me, huh? I haven't forgotten the way they tried to gang up on me.
As you wish. But don't be unnecessarily reckless. Remember, our main problem is to save Planet Man.
Don't worry about me. Hey, there goes the detector. Flash him the recognition signal. Might be my friends coming out to play.
We'll soon know. If it's the Mardi, they'll reply at once. It's the fleet from home, all right.
All right, have them form in a perimeter around the Alpha.
Hello, this is Rura aboard the Alpha calling the Mardi flagship Tonat. Hello, Tonat. Form a protective perimeter around the Alpha and send your space launch for me. I'm coming aboard. I'll give the rest of your orders in person. Now, Slats, as soon as we've eliminated those other ships, I'll come back aboard the Alpha. Then we'll go down to the surface of that planet.
And the sooner the better, Aurora, my gal. The sooner the better.
Planet Man, where are you? My detectors show that you are nearby, but I cannot see your light.
Back here, Barrow. I'm caught under some rocks.
Don't move. You may just cause another cave-in. I think I'll be able to lift them off with my propulsion unit, but we'll have to move very slowly. This cavern is not in much better shape than the one we left.
Whatever you say, but hurry. I'm afraid the insect men must have instruments that will register that cave-in. They're probably on their way here now.
Dantro and Barrel have probably revealed their presence to the insect people. Can Slats get to Dantro before the insect people? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear.
Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dan Troll, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dan Troll, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dan Troll, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dan Troll, the Planet Man, was buried under a pile of rocks and gravel, deep under the surface of the graveyard planet. Barrel is trying frantically to get him free. Meanwhile, Slats has returned with a fleet from the Mardi to rescue his friends, not knowing where they are or what has happened to them.
Just one more of these large rocks, and then I think you can free yourself from the gravel. I will power lift this one. There, that did it. Can you get loose?
No, I hope so. We haven't any time to lose. That should do it. Good. Now let's get out of here.
Which way shall we go?
Any passage that leads down. How many more levels are there?
Only one more, I believe.
There's a likely-looking passage. No, it's closed off.
But not sealed. See, it's a door of some sort. Perhaps we can open it.
Let's try. Come on, what are you waiting for?
We won't have to try. You were right in fearing the insect men would detect that cave-in. They are coming toward us on the other side of that door now. Quickly, back around that bend.
I'm right behind you. Looks like this little junket is going to end before it even gets started. Hurry, the door's opening.
Hello, Aurora. Do your detectors show any signs of those ships yet?
Not yet. Perhaps they've returned to the planet.
No, I don't think so. From the way it looked to me, they were some kind of a patrol for ships that were caught like the Alpha, but not close enough to get pulled down. They tried to correct that little oversight.
Guess you were right, Slats. They're just registering now. They must have spotted the Alpha. They're coming right toward us at full acceleration.
Are you ready for them?
Ready and waiting.
All right. Now, don't forget to save one for me. Yeah, I can see him now myself. Come on, boys. Here's a nice little sitting duck for you. But you're due for a shock. This little duck has teeth. That's a babies. Come in close so you won't miss. Come on in closer. Here's little Slats, just sitting, waiting to be blasted. That's it. Closer. Closer. Okay, Aurora, give it to him and save that big round baby sonard for me. Oh, brother, look at that Mardi fleet. Go on, try to run, wise guys. Huh? You thought it was just me. Well, here I come. Look at that one try to pile on the drive. I'll catch him. Come on, Alpha, tear! Yeah, it's gaining on him. That's it, Alpha. Just a little closer, baby. Yeah. Now, what'll I use? Disintegrator, heat ray, space mine? What'll it be? Eeny, meeny. The heck with it. I'll give him the works. Hey, easy. Darn near got. I'll fix you. Try a dose of this. That did it. Bingo. Now who's ruling the roost, huh?
Slats, I don't like to spoil your fun, but hadn't we better head for that planet and Dantro?
Okay. You don't have to remind me. I was just going to beam you in.
I'll come aboard the Alpha and then we'll head in.
All right, come ahead. We got work to do.
many are there?
6, all armed with some kind of heat projector.
You think we can take them?
Why not stay here hidden? They might pass us by, and while they're checking that cave-in, we can slip through the door. They left it open.
And then what? No, here's what we'll do. Let them go by us and then hit them from behind. You take the 3 closest to us, and I'll take the other 3. But don't kill them all. I'll explain later. They're getting close. Yes, Ed, here they come. Now!
Watch that one on your left, Danfo.
Got him! Thanks, Barrel. Now, look out!
No danger. I destroyed his projector.
There! Nice work, Barrel. There are 5 insect men who won't take any more slaves.
May I compliment you on your aim, Planet Man? You did not miss once.
I didn't dare.
What do you want to do with this one?
Let's take a look at him. Insect Man is a good name for him. Look at the ugly brute. What's he buzzing about?
He is asking for mercy. Do you wish to talk to him? I can use my transcoder.
No, you seem to understand him. Tell him we want him to guide us to the city below.
He says he will be killed if he does.
Well, that's too bad. Tell him he'll be killed if he doesn't. And tell him no tricks. We don't want to run into any guards on the way.
He will lead us.
Good. I don't trust him, though. Keep your eyes open. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting you don't have eyes. You got much better means of perceiving.
It's all right. I know what you mean.
What'd you ask him?
If he knew where the slaves were kept.
Does he?
He says he is one of the maintenance crew. The slaves are in a separate sector of the city. He thinks he knows the way.
For his sake and ours, he'd better.
Dantro and Barrel have overcome their first hurdle. What lies ahead? Can they trust their newly captured insect prisoner to get them to the sector of the slaves? We'll be back in a moment, so level up. When we left Dantro and Barrel, they had just destroyed 5 insect men and taken 1 captive. This newly captured prisoner was showing them how to get below to the Insect Planet headquarters. In the meantime, Slats and the Mardi fleet have burned the Insect Planet patrol out of space. We find Slats and Rura aboard the Alpha as they prepare to land on the Insect Planet and rescue Dantro and Barrel.
Are you sure your ships can pull out of this field when we want to, Rura?
Of course, but if it will make you feel any better, I'll check our breakout point. What's this? We're not free, but in some sort of pull.
Oh, brother.
I don't know what happened, but we're caught.
That does it. Some rescue mission this is. I thought you said...
I know what I said, but I was wrong.
I guess it's nobody's fault. I should have thought of checking before, but you seem so sure. Well, it's too late to worry about it now. Let's go.
Go where?
Down. Where else is there to go? The only chance we have now is to find out who or what's causing all this trouble and clean them out.
All right, Slats, we're with you. Lead the way. I'll order the fleet to follow.
He says that the cavern that contains the city is just around this bend.
Ask him if the entrance is guarded.
He says it is not guarded. It is a maintenance tunnel known only to the maintenance crew.
What do you think we ought to do with him, Barrel? We can't take him along. He might let out a buzz and warn someone. I hate the thought of killing him in cold blood, although it is a better thing than he deserves.
If I may suggest it, Planet Man, I have analyzed his nervous system, and if you will set your sonic disruptor at 1/4 strength, it will stun him for at least 12 hours.
That ought to be long enough. In 12 hours, we'll either be out of here or stuck for good. Okay, 1/4, you said? Yeah.
Excellent. That will take care of him.
Well, let's get going.
One moment.
What is it?
I want to try something. Yes, I was right.
Right about what?
This race of insect men communicate by a kind of wave transmission. I wanted to see if I could intercept their communications.
Can you?
Yes, I'll amplify it for you. Listen.
You're right, Barrel.
Something big is up. Let us approach the exit into the city proper a little closer. The rocks somewhat dampen the waves, and I cannot make out the meaning.
If our guide was right, the exit should be just around this bend. Yes, it's there, all right. Now be careful. He might have been lying about the guard.
No, there is no one there. I would detect his presence. Wait, now I can get the waves clearly.
What is it? Do they know we're here?
No, not that, but they are sending out a general alarm to their commanders. A large fleet has been caught in the field and is descending to the surface of the planet.
A large fleet? That must be the Mardi. Slats must have gotten through after all. But you said caught in the field. There must be some mistake. Surely they wouldn't blunder into the same trap.
Perhaps they did not realize how powerful the field was, but there is no mistake about their being caught.
Now we've got to find that generator and destroy it. If we don't, not only are we stuck, but that whole fleet, too. Come on! Blazing sons of Sirius, look at that city. It's tremendous. The cavern must go for miles. How are we ever going to find that generator?
My detector tells me the generator is located in that building, or rather beneath it.
Are you sure?
Positive. The insect man in the copter just sent a message to headquarters that he had reached the generator and they could use the men guarding it for the war party. They're sending to intercept the fleet when it lands. He is going to guard the building from above.
Well, now we know where it is, but I don't see how much it helps us. If we were on the ground, we might be able to sneak up on the building, but he'll spot us from up there in a minute.
We must eliminate him.
Great idea, but how? No, wait, I have it.
You have a plan?
Yes, it's tricky, but it might work. And it's our only chance.
What plan does Dantro have to destroy the generator? Will he act in time, or will Slats and the Mardi fleet find themselves slaves of the insect people? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro, the Planet Man, and Barrel, the robot, were deep under the surface of the graveyard planet in the city of the insect men. Slats and the Mardi fleet, trapped in the magnetic field, were dropping to the surface of the planet. We find Dantro explaining to Barrel his plan to destroy the generator that sets up the field.
Listen carefully, Barrel. We haven't much time. We've got to knock that generator out before the Mardi fleet is pulled to the surface of the planet.
What is your plan?
The only guard on the building that houses the generator is in that copter that's hovering over the roof there. The insect men don't realize that your propulsion units will function in spite of their magnetic field.
How does that help us?
The guard will be looking for some threat from below, not above.
I see it now. You want me to drop down from above and strike from there.
Exactly. And to be sure he doesn't spot you coming down, I'll get his attention by kicking up a fuss down here.
Do you think that will be necessary? After all, once you are spotted, the insect men will realize that we have penetrated to the city. Right now, they don't even suspect it.
Listen, Barrel, this attempt has to succeed. I doubt that we'll get another chance. And even if we did, it would be too late to save Slats and the Mardi fleet.
Very well. I think your plan will work. I'll ascend at once.
Watch me down here. Get up where you can't be seen directly over the copter. When you see me start to move out of this cavern toward the generator, drop down and take care of the guard.
Very well, but promise me you will not take any unnecessary chances.
Don't worry, I have no desire to commit suicide.
I'll start now. Goodbye. And if something goes wrong, and we do not meet each other again, I want to tell you that you are a man in every sense of the word.
Thanks, Barrel. I won't try to tell you how I feel about you. You better get started.
At once.
Well, Roar, there it is. There's a planet that's been causing us so much grief.
I can't understand why we can see no signs of civilization. Even our detectors register absolute zero.
Yeah, ours did too, but Barrel was able to detect some faint signs of radioactivity. Besides, there must be someone down there, and someone advanced enough to construct a field powerful enough to lick anything we have.
Oh, don't misunderstand me. I know there must be something or someone responsible for what's happening. After all, we did see and destroy those ships. I just can't understand why it doesn't show up on any of our instruments.
We'll find out soon enough. Have you advised the fleet of our plans of operation?
No, I'd better do that now. Hello, this is Rora aboard the Alpha. The fleet will continue to descend until we are a mile above the surface of the planet. At that point, you will try every unit of power your ships can muster to break the grip of the field.
Roar, you better tell them what to do if we can't break out.
All right. If we cannot break out, then we will disperse the fleet over an area of about 10 units square, take up battle formation, and prepare to repulse any attempts to force entry from the air or the ground. By any means in your power, avoid having the enemy get control of these ships, even if it means destroying the ships with every member of the crew. I will contact you again after we land. If we land.
That sounds good, but what do you think our chances are?
Oh, how can I answer you, Slats? I don't even know who the enemy is or what his weapons are. Certainly those ships didn't seem to put up much of a fight.
You know, Roar, I've been thinking about that. Those guys didn't seem to know what they were doing. And another thing I noticed when they attacked me before, no two ships were alike, and some of them looked like nothing I'd ever seen.
Perhaps they're remnants of other fleets that have been caught in this trap as we have. That is why I gave orders that our fleet must not be taken intact.
Yeah. Say, you better keep your eye on the altimeter. We're getting down pretty low.
I'll stay here by the communicator. At least they haven't managed to block that. Now, you read off the height to me.
Right. 8 miles now. 7 miles. 6 miles. 5 miles. 4 miles. Oh, Slats, you're a long way from home.
What was that you said?
Nothing. I just got a habit of talking to myself. 3 miles. 2 miles. 1.5 miles. 1.25 miles. Take it away!
All ships, maximum repulsion power.
Here we go!
Any luck?
Nah, wasted time and power. We're still falling. A little slower, but we're still falling. Better get a report to the other ships.
Hello. Rora aboard the Alpha calling Mardi Fleet. Keep on full repulsion power for as long as you can. Then descend and follow us. Slats, how much time do you think they can gain?
About 15 minutes.
How about us, Slats?
Well, the Alpha hasn't got the power your ships have. I give us about 10 minutes at the top.
Well, I'll man the weapons turret. We'll get down first. And you can bet we'll be ready.
Yeah, but if we only knew ready for who, for what.
Slats, Rora, and the Mardi fleet are really in for some fast action on the insect planet. Can Slats and his friends ward off the insect men? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Slats and the Mardi fleet, they were about to land on the insect planet, having failed to break away from the magnetic field of the planet. In the meantime, Dancho and Barrel are proceeding with their plan to destroy the generator of the insect men, which causes this magnetic pull.
Barrel, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Planet Man. Do you think it is safe to use communications?
I've been using it for some time now. If they went and spotted it, I think we'd know it. I guess the excitement of the arrival of the Mardi fleet has turned their attention away from almost everything else. The city's almost deserted. They must be sending every available insect man to the surface to fight.
I am almost in position over the copter. Does he show any signs of suspicion?
No, he's busy watching the ground. As soon as you're set, watch me. I'll run toward the building that houses the generator.
Don't expose yourself unnecessarily.
Just enough to be sure he sees me. I don't want him looking up. You're the one that will be exposed.
I am ready now.
Okay, here goes. Okay, Barrel, get him. You missed me. You're going to have to do better than that, Insect Man. That's it, Barrel. You hit him dead center. Are you all right?
Do not worry, Planet Man. I am built to take much more than that.
Fine. His aim was as bad as his intentions. We'd better get inside that building before someone spots the wreckage of the copter. Come down to the entrance.
I'll meet you there.
Nice work, Barrel. Now let's see what's inside. Careful, there may be guards in there, too.
There are two just inside the door, if I am not mistaken.
We've got to get them out of the way.
I am immune to their rays. I am certain of that. Let me go in and draw their fire, and while they are concentrating on me, you can take care of them.
Okay, I guess it's your turn to play decoy anyhow. Start moving. We haven't much time.
Here goes.
Here I come, Barrel. I got them both. Come on, the generator must be down this way. Through this door, quickly. There may be other guards, and they're certain to have heard the racket we've been making.
Look, you were right. There it is down there.
Barrel. Look at that mass of machinery. That isn't just the generator that powers the magnetic field. It must be the source of power for the entire planet.
That makes it even better. If we can destroy this one machine, we can knock out the entire operation of this underground city.
But that's just what we don't want to do.
I don't understand.
And it's because you're a robot, and things like air and heat don't matter to you. Once these machines stop, anything that isn't protected by a spacesuit will die. And I doubt that the insect men have left any spacesuits for their slaves.
You are right, Dantro, but what can we do?
There's only one thing to do. We must free the slaves and get them to the surface in safety with the Mardi fleet before this machine is destroyed.
But that means...
Exactly. That means that one of us has to stay here while the other finds the slaves and leads them to the surface.
Very well. I will stay here. You go.
Why me? Whoever stays here will probably die here.
You forget, Planet Man. I am a robot, a machine. I cannot die.
Robot or man, I won't let you sacrifice your life.
I will not argue with you. I must remind you that it is my people you came down here to save. The fleet of Mardi are your friends. Slats is your friend. You must let me do this.
All right, Barrel, if that's the way you want it. Have you any idea which way the slave quarters are?
I have been sensing the emanations of my people for some time now. They seem to originate from the sector of the city immediately opposite this building.
Yes, I noticed a tremendous barracks over there. It must be where they keep the slaves.
You are probably right.
I better get on my way.
Keep in contact with me as long as you can.
I will, Barrel, but we'd better have some signal or deadline for the destruction of this power plant.
How long do you think it will take you?
Well, give me 10 minutes to get to the building, 10 minutes to free the slaves, and another 10 minutes to get them to the surface. About 40 minutes should do it. If we're not out of here by then, we probably never will be.
How will you get to the surface?
There must be a contragravity shaft. I'm sure they didn't move that army of insect men to the surface in ships. I noticed the direction they went. I'll go the same way and hope for the best.
Very well. 40 minutes then. And as you say, good luck.
Dantro has a mammoth task ahead of him. Will time and luck match his skill for success? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro the Planet Man fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Dantro the Planet Man and Barrel the Robot had discovered the power plant for the whole graveyard planet deep under the surface in the hidden city of the insect men. Slats, Rura, and the Mardi rescue fleet, caught in the magnetic field, are slowly being drawn to the surface of the planet where an army of insect men waits for their ships to crash. Barrel is staying to blow up the power plant while Dantro rushes to free the insect men's prisoners.
Hello, Barrel. Can you still hear me? I'm almost at the barracks.
Be careful, Planet Man. There must be guards watching the prisoners.
No sign of them yet, Barrel. The insect men must have stripped the city of every available inhabitant to go to the surface and fight the Mardi fleet.
Are you sure the prisoners are in that building?
Well, I'll know in a minute. The doors are locked, but I think my disruptor will take care of that. Now, that did it. Brought part of the building with it, too, and not a guard in sight.
Maybe you have the wrong building.
Maybe. Wait. No, I can see the prisoners now. They're locked in cells, like animals or criminals. Now move on. Quiet, all of you. I'm a friend. Is there any among you who can speak or understand me?
I understand your tongue. You must have been in the ship that our expedition encountered. We left you one of our robots.
What's your name?
My name is Grigg. I was the commander of the ship that landed near yours. How did you get here? Where are the insect men?
There's no time to explain now. Are there spacesuits for those others and yourself? You'll need them when we get to the surface.
Yes, but they're locked away.
Where?
At the end of the building. If you have a heat projector or a disruptor, we can get them. But what good will it do? The insect men outnumber us 1,000 to 1, and we have no weapons.
Well, never mind that now. Quickly, tell some of these others to take my heat projector and free the rest. You come with me to where the spacesuits are. Have them follow as soon as they can.
Immediately. You there. Manti.
Hey.
Corey.
Barrel, can you hear me? I've found them. It's all right. And some members of your expedition are among the prisoner slaves.
I have been listening on my communicator. It is good, Planet Man. Now you must hurry and get them to the surface. In 34 minutes, I will destroy this power plant. It will probably take the planet with it. You must be aboard those ships and ready to blast off into space by then.
We'll do it somehow, Barrel. Isn't there some way you can follow us?
Not a chance. This graveyard planet must never again trap the ships of another race. Hurry.
Right. Rig the spacesuit room, quickly.
It's just a little way, down this corridor. There, that door.
Stand back. I can't waste time. I'm going to use full power.
There, that did it. Here come the others. All of you in there, quickly. Down, spacesuits.
You too, Grigg. And get the men outside. I'll meet you there. I'm going to see if I can find some weapons. There must be an armory in here. And don't waste a moment. We only have a short time to get to the surface.
I don't know how much longer the Alpha can take this punishment. With her drive on full, pushing away from the planet, and that magnetic field dragging her down, something's liable to give any time.
All the other ships are under the same strain, but they reported that they've all definitely slowed down the pull of the field.
We've dropped to 4 miles again.
And at our rate of 4, we'll land in about 7 minutes. You understand the plan?
You mean about the formation we'll take up on the ground?
Yes. The fleet will land in a circle with this ship at the center. That way all our rays and turrets can be trained.
Okay, I understand it.
Let's hope it succeeds.
You can say that again. Boy, I'll bet we're heading for trouble with a capital T.
You think there's a gravity lift to the surface in that shaft ahead?
I know there is. It's the one the insect men use when they take us to work on a wrecked ship in the surface, so I hope it's still in operation.
Well, we'll soon know. Are all the men armed?
Yes. Well, it's a lucky thing you found the weapons room. I've never seen such a mixture of weapons in my life. Why, they're like these slaves from all over the galaxy. But they work, and now at least we can fight if we have to.
Barrel, everything all right?
Don't worry about me, Planet Man. Get to the surface. I think you'll be needed there when the fleet lands.
All right, Barrel. Well, look, Grigg, there's the lift, and it's still working. Come, we haven't a second to waste.
50,000 feet. We'll be down in a couple of minutes.
Oh.
Did you hear me, Aurora? I said we'll be down in a couple of minutes. Hey, what are you looking at?
Come see for yourself on the screen.
Huh?
I'll take over the controls.
Okay, I've been wondering what that place down there looked like anyway. Wow, look at that reception committee. There must be thousands of them. Can't make out much from here, but it just doesn't look good.
Wait, I'll switch on the magnifier screen.
Yeah. Hey, insects, thousands of them. They must be 10 feet high.
Yes, and look at what they've got with them.
Holy smokes, tanks, mobile projectors, everything under the sun. Well, there's stuff down there I never dreamed existed. They're just waiting for us to land.
We'll oblige them in a minute
Say,
now.
can't we switch on our protective shielding? We're going to need it.
We're using every ounce of power to resist the pull of the field. If we use some of it to put out our shield, we'll drop and crash.
You mean we can't use the shield until we're on the ground? Suppose they don't wait. Some of those rays can pick us off in the air.
If they were going to do that, they would have done it by now. No, I think they're going to try to take the ships intact. And that they shall never do while one of my crews is still alive.
Thousands of insect men waiting for the Mardi fleet. Can Slats and Rora strike the first blow and perhaps gain the advantage? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Slats, Rora, and the Mardi fleet, they were about to land on the insect planet amid its ravenous army of creatures. In the meantime, Dantro has freed the slaves of the insect people and is leading them to the surface of the planet where they can engage the insect men in battle before their full fury is brought against the oncoming Mardi fleet. Dantro is talking to Grig, the leader of the slaves.
How much further is it to the surface, Grig?
About half a mile.
Where does this let us out? I mean, on what part of the planet's surface?
Near that graveyard of ships. We were taken there to help strip them of equipment after they were trapped.
A graveyard of ships. That's where Sacro and his survivors are.
You mean the crews who escaped being captured?
You know about them?
Well, we knew they existed, but we never saw them. They must have hidden when the insect men brought us there to work. But some of their members have been captured from time to time, and so we knew.
I wonder. Listen, Grig, I don't know what we're going to run into up there. I'm counting on the Mardi rescue fleet being about somewhere. But we'll have to fight our way to it. We'll need all the help we can get. The men here have extra arms.
You mean to arm those hidden in the graveyard, eh?
Exactly. If we can find them.
We'll know in a moment. Here's the top end of the lift.
Tell your men to wait here in the tunnel. I'll go have a look around. And be ready to come when I call you.
We'll be ready for anything.
Stand by to land. Quick, Roar, the protective shield.
Not a second too soon, Slats. Look!
Huh? Jumping sunspots. If we hadn't gotten that shield on, they'd have finished us off for good. They've got every piece of equipment trained on the Alpha.
Will the shielding hold?
Not for long with what they're pouring on, but your ships will be landing around us, and they'll have to divert some of their stuff to them.
I'll watch for them.
Good. I'm going to see if I can pay those insect men or whatever they are back. Here's a little insecticide for you, boys. Hey, you see that? There's one projector we won't have to worry about. Yeah, there goes a tank. Say, I'm beginning to enjoy this.
Careful, Slats. The rest of the fleet is dropping around us now. You better hold your fire. You might hit one of our own ships.
Just one more, Laura. There's a disruptor over there that's just begging for a little heat. Yeah, ha, that did it. Look at her burn. Hey, there must be some oxygen out there.
No time to check the analysis now. Hold your fire, Slats.
Yeah, I'm holding it. In the middle of the circle here, we can't do any fighting back.
I'm afraid we'll get our chance, Slats.
Are you worried? The stuff you got aboard that fleet, we ought to be able to whip them hands down.
There's only one trouble, Slats. That field is slowly draining all the energy out of our converters. Soon there won't be enough left to fight and maintain our protective shields, and when that happens, we're going to be at their mercy.
You serious, Roar?
Dead serious. But there is one thing we can do, Slats. Destroy the planet. We have atomic charges that can do that.
What about Planet Man? He's out there somewhere.
Yeah, that's why I've held off giving the order to use the Planet Busters. I'll wait until the last minute, but then I've got to do it. Even Planet Man's life can't be put against this entire fleet, Slats.
Well, you can't destroy the planet. How about these ships? Won't they go too?
No, we can protect ourselves against its effect. In the meantime...
It's awful, just awful. I can't even fight back. Dantro! Dantro, where are you?
You see what's happening out there, Grig? The insect men have the Mardi fleet surrounded. There's my ship, the Alpha, in the center.
Sacro is bringing his men. He's going to join forces with us.
Good. As soon as he gets here, we'll move out.
Do you think we have a chance against all those insect men? Besides being outnumbered, they've tanks and mobile ray batteries. We have only hand weapons.
I'll tell you something now I didn't want you to know before. In 10 minutes, this planet will be destroyed. Barrel, the robot you left with us, is going to set off the power plant. If we aren't aboard those ships by then, Grig, we'll go with it. No matter what the odds are, we've got to fight our way through. And if we don't, It'll be all over in 10 minutes.
Time seems to be running only one way, out. How can our friends overcome these great odds? The horror of the insect men. We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dan Troll, the Planet Man. The Planet Man.